Hey, what's up, everybody? Rod J back. What is going on? Getting all situated here. Had to get some of the last stuff out of the way. Hopefully, you guys can hear me coming through okay. If not, let me know. Was messing around with StreamYard last night. Had some audio issues in the beginning, but I think I'm all good right now. What is going on to Erie? Cheers to you as well. And tonight, something a little different. Kind of doing like a little Saturday night type stream, and we'll see who actually jumps on here. I know I got the request for the link already for someone, so if anybody does want to join, let me know. We'll look to get you in, see kick back, and enjoy some beers for sure, and see what you guys are up to here on this Saturday evening. So hopefully you guys have had a good weekend thus far. Let me see here. Doing well, Erie. How are you doing tonight? What is going on down there in South Kakalaka? I know you guys got the some of the beach open, I think, down there, possibly. Some people are doing stuff there. So I know some of the boats and stuff like that, I guess, for some of the lakes and everything, or at least a few handful. Um, and some people are trying to get somewhat back to a normal type situation. And I'm actually going to kick off the first beer tonight for those of you tuning in, and welcome if you tune in there from the Twitter world. So we are actually live right now on YouTube and also Twitter, and kind of like I said, messing around with StreamYard. I decided to go ahead and check out one of their memberships. One of my buddies, he actually went ahead and signed up, and I got a referral bonus. Didn't realize you can get that with StreamYard. So I got the first month free. I was already out of talk time anyway. So I said, let's give it a run and see how we like some of the things you can do there. So you guys let me know what you think of it. Here, I'm kind of messing around, as you can see, with some of the overlays, the way they look now versus when I use OBS. Let me know if you like one more than the other. Erie said, tired as hell. Well, I saw earlier you were playing, I guess, this Roblox with the kids. I'm not familiar with that game. So you said when the kids want to play, it was time to play. So I guess the kids may have tired you out a little bit there. And Erie says her sister did go out on a boat today. So yeah, some of the things were opening up in different states. The Carolinas, down in South Carolina, I think they were. I think North Carolina might still have some of their lockdown as well. But let me go ahead here real quick and let some of the other guys know in case they want to jump here on the stream. Bear with me. And if you guys are enjoying something out there tonight to drink, let me know as well. All right, you got that out there. What's going on, Ron? Cheers, my friend. Still playing Roblox. I don't know what that is though. I gotta look to see. Is that like a small child game, or is that a game that people play of all just different ages? I've never heard of Roblox until you actually mentioned it before. Nieces in North Carolina. Are they still kind of locked down over in North Carolina, or are they getting out a little bit more? What's going on in that part of the state? Are they able to get out and do anything? See my bottle opener. So this is the 2020. If you didn't see it, I think I cracked one maybe yesterday. The Oberon Ale. This is from Bell's out of Michigan. One of my favorite springtime beers that comes out from them. And American wheat ale. So it's got a hoppiness to it, which I like, with the kind of like a more of like a pale type ale. And you see some of the breweries actually doing a little bit more of this to kind of give something to those that like a little bit of that bitter and appeal. I'm gonna set that to the side. I know Swami was gonna look to jump in as well, I believe. And It's a game with many games. Well, that's interesting. Games within games. She's in base, so they are locked down. Oh, okay. So she's military there. Yeah, so they can't really do anything or go anywhere. Oh yeah, the hams all night long, rocking the hams. I actually did look for hams today, Ron, at the one spot I went to, Party Source. I didn't see any of the individual ones, so I can actually do a review of that. So I have to go out to the one in Florence, which is Party Town, to see, because I know they usually have it there, I believe. But I am looking for that hams. I just don't want to buy a 30 pack of it. Every time I see it outside of it being individual, it's like a 30 pack, and I've got enough beer here not to worry about 30 hams. Oh, but this is so good. It's so smooth, so refreshing. So what else is happening out there? I don't think too much has happened since last night. We did a little bit of stream there, so that was kind of fun. Had the UK guys were on, and so we had a blast doing some stuff, and probably going to have more of the UK guys on tomorrow as well, as I do a day stream. I think I got it set for 2 o'clock tomorrow. That's going to be a little bit more of a relaxed stream. Tomorrow, this is one of the things I picked up today. If you didn't see the unboxing video, it's going to be called Slow It Down Sunday. I may have a little bit of this, but this is the Cantera Negra Cafe coffee liqueur. Essentially, it's a coffee chocolate tequila made with 100% agave spirit. Had this before when they were sampling some stuff. Really smooth. Been wanting to go back and get some of this. Finally did. So I'm looking forward to enjoying some of this here. You can pretty much just drink it nice and straight. And you talk about something being nice and smooth. This actually fits the bill nicely. And produced by Agave Total, caramel color added, imported by Two Sons Imports through Dayton, Ohio. So they're actually out of Mexico. Yeah, so some good stuff. So looking forward to checking that out. So if you guys are around tomorrow, I'll let you know how that actually tastes as well. Oh. I'm always around. I'm always here, brother. I'm always in the place to be. I don't really go anywhere too differently. It's just I guess there's a lot of YouTube movement out there, a lot of YouTube circles, and I'm always around for sure. It is amazing. It was tasty. When we did the video at Braxton Labs, uh Thrash, what's going on, my friend? If you want to jump on, let me know. I'll get you the link, buddy. Um, we did the thing at Braxton Labs. We went inside Party Source, where Braxton Labs is part of the brewery there. They were doing all the different vendor samples and stuff, and the person was here from them, and it was one of the most tasty liqueurs I've had in a long time. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. But yeah, if you're freed up, Brian, and you want to jump on, let me know. Get that shot over to you as well. Just going to be kicking it tonight, nice and smooth, and just pretty much chilling. Reading a few of the messages here. Just eating. Well, you can come on and do a mukbang if you like as well. Muk Mukbangs are welcomed, right? You can come on and do that. Hopefully, you're eating something good. I watched Leprechaun TV earlier, and they were having a cooking duo on his channel. So it was him and Never Trust His Skinny Chef Shane. They were both cooking on outdoor grills, and Leprechaun made like a sloppy Joe cheese quesadilla, I'm going to call it. It looked really good. And then Shane did a chicken stir fry, which looked awesome as well. So made me miss not having a grill or something outside to be able to do that. What they were using was actually like a flat top oven rather than a grill, but it makes me want to actually cook outside again. So I may pick up one here in the next couple months. Get up to Akron. Yeah, Thirsty Dog. I've had the Thirsty Dog beers as well. Thirsty Dog makes some good ones. I actually have one of them I think down in the cellar right now that I haven't drank yet, but I always like getting their stuff. Um, they're a solid brewery out of Akron. Jinx, what is going on? It's been a long, 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 long time. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, having a great Saturday. Hopefully you are as well. Not Sunday yet, if you're Aussie. I would like to go to Australia at some point, but yeah, but it's still Saturday here. Does it make you hungry? Yeah, it was a great video. If you guys haven't checked out Leprechaun TV, they're going to be doing a series on them. Hopefully, like a weekly series. Where they're going to be doing grilling shows. And no, they did a great job. And I got hungry watching. It was almost like watching Diner Driving and Dives again. So, which I'm trying not to watch tonight because then I'll get the munchies later on. Because Friday and Saturday nights, which is weird at this time when we got all this other stuff, you can't watch sports or anything like that. I've actually got ESPN on right now, and they're doing old boxing matches, but there's nothing actually even on TV that's really worth a good show right now. Even like some of the HBO stuff and Showtime is all just recycled stuff you've seen before for the most part. So it's kind of like, um, how do you have all this stuff happen? You can't go anywhere, but yet you guys can't even come up with good programming. That kind of sucks. Well, that's awesome. Good to hear that you're doing well there, Jinxie. And I haven't had a chance. I think I did see you popped up, start doing some more stuff on your channel again, but I had not had a chance to get over there and check out some of your lives and stuff. But I still got you so I can get the alerts and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully you're doing well getting through this whole pandemic thing too. And things haven't been too bad or too crazy. And let me do something here. I'm supposed to send it over to the other guys. Bear with me for a second, everybody. I gotta get it over to my UK peeps in case any of them are up and would like to also join. All right, Brian, I'll go ahead and get that over to you. Everyone gaining the quarantine 15. Well, the quarantine 15 is better than the 25. I'm hearing that people may actually be picking up from the weight. So 15 works out to be a lot better. I think I'm noticing my computer definitely goes a little bit slower on StreamYard when StreamYard's in play. Not as much as with OBS, but with StreamYard definitely. And Brian, I just sent it to you on the Facebook Messenger. Oh my channel. That's the fun of it, though. You never know what's going to happen there. There's a lot of good stuff that takes place that makes it fun and entertaining. So I always enjoy checking out the stuff you got going on there for real. And Labrador Lager, yeah, Dortmunder, that's pretty good. The one I got on the wall here, of course, Dortmunder Gold from Great Lakes. They're up in Cleveland. The Dortmunder Lagers, I can enjoy them for what they are, but they're not ones I usually hunt down as much. But Thirsty Dog has the, I want to say, they have the 12 Dogs a Night as well, I believe, Siberian Nights. So they got some pretty good stuff that I actually do enjoy. And in the house, we
Hey,
now have thrash metal. What is going on, my friend? How are you doing this evening?
good, Rod J. How are you, man?
Good, good. Just kind of chilling, doing something different, little Saturday night stream and
Cool.
back. Oh, nice. Let's get that baby.
Colorado Ale. It's a Kolsch.
Oh, nice and refreshing.
Yeah, it's really. I've had it open for a little while. I've just been sipping on it a little bit.
I don't think I haven't seen you. At least it's been, if I have, it's been a long time since you weren't drinking one of your home brews.
Well, I got some right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be diving into those. Also, Bumpy Road Brewery, he's doing his Malty Monday, and this week is the Dunkel. So I went and picked a 6-pack up of that, and Prost puts out a really good Dunkel. So I had one of those earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm only on this is number 3 tonight.
Oh, there you go. It's kind of like a wine glass that you're drinking with, like a goblet, but
This is from
as
New
well.
Belgium. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one like from them too. Yeah. We get
I love these glasses. They're nice.
Yeah, they're nice when they're good size and
Yeah.
fit the hand sturdily. So
Yeah. And then Avery.
yeah, I like that one too with the almost like the angle of how they tilted up on theirs.
This is from the Boulder IPA Fest a couple years back.
Nice.
Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not getting too many beer festivals right now.
No. I'm glad I was able to make this this last year's Great American Beer Fest here in Colorado, so that was fun. Thank God for Uber, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, that's something that more people should definitely be using if they weren't before. That's why we get Eric out there to threaten people with the baseball bat, right?
There you
So,
go. Cheers.
Yeah, not like back in the day. You're like, oh, I'm just right over there. I can make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nowadays they don't fool around, man.
No.
Hey.
And Jinxie's got the black isolate, which is the Molson. So she is always rocking the Molson every time I see her, I think.
Molson.
T Metal send me a link. I'll light it up.
Ronald.
Ron, he's drinking some hams, he told me earlier.
Hey, hams ain't bad. And you were talking
about
it's
not.
You didn't you don't want to purchase a 30-pack because you think it's just going to sit around?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the deal?
Well, I don't want to. I'm not going to. I've got too many other beers, so a 30-pack for me is no good. I just want to get the individuals. I can do the review on it, which I have one store that does sell them as individuals. I just haven't gotten over there to look at it yet. I went to another one today, but they didn't have the individuals. So
yeah, hams is good. I mean, it's another. It's in line with all the other American adjunct. I mean, it's fine. It's it's the rice and corn, and it's in that same line. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
hams is good though.
No, I got no knock on. In fact, I've had it on tap at places, and it's kind of like, it's hams, it's Bud, it's Coors or whatever. It's like, let me have a ham, and the hams was decent. So I think as far as the adjunct lagers, it's actually one of the ones I enjoy a little bit more.
Yep. Yeah. PBR is always good. I mean, from American Adjunct, I like to get a real nice light, crispy beer, kind of like a Kolsch like this, to kind of get your palate reset. So when you jump in the homebrew again, or something that's kind of heavy from the craft brew area, macro and micro brewers, it really cleanses the palate for you to enjoy the beer more. Otherwise, it kind of just weighs you down if you drink it all night long. Because my beers, they're not slouches at all. So,
the
next thing I'll pour up is a Line Hefeweizen that I made, and it's 6.8%. And that one's delish. I make it every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I have a white IPA, and I also have a Kona Longboard clone.
I had that in their variety pack when I got that a few weeks back. Yeah.
It's not bad. That's another good lager too.
Yeah.
Kona Brewing Company.
Kona never really disappoints. They never overwhelm, but they never disappoint. They're pretty solid. It's just giving you a nice beer to relax to. I mean, I can see if I'm sitting in Hawaii, I can enjoy their beers while I'm there. I like their Pipeline Porter. I haven't had it in a while, but that's one I do like from them for sure. And the one they just came out with in a variety pack with the Cuba Bay IPA was one of mine that I liked a little bit more than the other one. Because they usually just get the Castaway, and the Cuba Bay I thought was better than Castaway. But it was kind of like a West Coast, East Coast, how you prefer as far as the preference and everything. So
but
it was nice. I enjoyed it.
I got to try their, what is it? The Fire
Fire Rock. Yeah, that's a
Fire
good
Rock.
one too. Yeah, that's the Amber, I think.
Something like that.
Amber Ale. Yeah, and that's actually a pretty tasty one. Yeah.
They don't, they don't disappoint. They're a pretty good brewery.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then,
just think of what it takes for them to get beer distributed here in the States from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they're under one of the. I don't know if it's AB and Bev, but they're under one of them now, so it might help them out there. It might help them a little bit, but yeah. But still, the cost to even ship to Hawaii can definitely bite into you. Gilbert's in the house said, "Cheers, fools!" And Erie says, "Love what Alan says. Rod's live, like I ain't already here."
Just kick him.
It's always funny because I sent a thing to Alan and well because he wanted to join, but it's like Erie and Alan, obviously husband and wife, they're in the house, but she never tells them when she's on halftime anyway. So,
right. Alan's always talking about electric cars or something. I don't know.
Right.
We're playing his video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jinx said, "LOL, Erie. Hey, meow. Nice to meet you." And Ron says, "You'll enjoy it." Yeah, I've had it, so I've definitely. Like I said, I got no problem with hams. I will enjoy it. And Erie said, "You too, Jakes." And then Ron asked you, Brian, what adjuncts do you use?
Are you talking about in like the Hefeweizen or?
I think he's kind of asking overall, like what you may use for beer, like what kind of adjuncts you like to work with.
Usually, I won't use any adjuncts. The only beer that I put adjuncts in is my lime Hefeweizen. I use actually simply limeade. That stuff you get, it's 100%. Well, it's not quite 100%, but it's close enough to lime juice. I use the zest of a lime actually for a 10-gallon batch, 2 big lime zests, the zest of 2 limes at the end of the boil. And then as fermentation's going, when the main fermentation starts to calm down, I'll open up one thing, simply limeade. I think they're a liter a piece. Dump that in there, makes it go balls to the wall. And then as soon as it calms down again, I'll put the other one in for the 10-gallon batch. But yeah, if you guys are interested, if you go out on my channel, I got the brew day from it. And then I have a fermentation video that I go through the fermentation process, which is a couple weeks and kind of a daily check-in. So it's kind of cool to see how it happens. So using the fast ferment 14-gallon conical fermenter. So it's pretty cool. If you guys are interested, go ahead and head out and take a look at that.
Definitely. Yeah. And if you guys don't have Brian, there's this thing there, Thrash Metal Homebrew and Barbecue. So make sure you guys check out his channel. I know YouTube has made it a little bit more of a pain in the ass where you can't just click the dots anymore. So you have to put it in there or cut and paste it like some people have said. But definitely say check out the channel. Because the brew days are pretty cool because you go through the whole brew day. You'll be on there 4 or 5 hours, but going through all the different steps and talking to the people and let them know what you're doing. And people can ask you questions and all that kind of stuff. So
so I do the 2 types of brew days. I'll do that one where I go through the whole brew day. And then there'll be other ones where I'm not live. What I'll do is I'll just record just the main portions of it and put that out. And that's what I did with this one. So you don't have to sit there and go through a whole brew day to see what the hell's going on. This one, what is it? It shouldn't be that long. It's under 30 minutes. I mean, to watch it, I start actually at the mash, so I'm a little late on it when I did the recording. So yeah, you get the idea that it's on a 15-gallon third barrel Herm system. So it's heat exchange recirculation mash system. Say that 10 times real quick.
Now he's sold seashells out by the seashore.
There you go. But yeah, if you guys are interested in brewing and stuff like that, I also do a lot of retro stuff. I mean, I have I'm an old retro guy, so the old Commodore 64s, and I also got Apple IIe's, and I just take those, keep them from the landfill, fix them, and turn around and sell them to people that are into them.
Yeah,
I'll do that stuff. Barbecue stuff. That time is coming up again, which is I can't wait till the really good weather. Even though I can do it in the winter time. I'd rather do it when it's nice out because it's an excuse to be outside and drink beer and smell barbecue smoke all day. And Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that works. It's not a bad way to be.
Yep.
um, Here's the thing. So for your channel, when you do because you do the beer and the barbecue, have you done videos to pair up like with your cooking with beer? Have you
Haven't done
done any
that
of
yet.
those?
That is
Okay.
one thing that I'm really looking forward to doing this year because you get to a point where you've made all of the main stuff that you can in barbecue. So
Mhm.
now it's a matter of making it yours for one. So making your own rubs, like you said, pairing something with it that would be homebrew wise or something that would be off the shelf
Right.
and do that. But yeah, I'm looking to do something like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. I've talked about doing some of the pairing videos, but I haven't grilled out because I got rid of our grill like 4 or 5 years ago and haven't replaced it. I usually just cook in, but
Yeah.
after watching, I mentioned earlier, watching the video with Leprechaun TV and Shane when they were grilling out, it's kind of like I kind of want to get something I can grill out again. My wife's been asking me to do it because she loves when I grill food outside. It's just,
Heck
and I've
yeah.
had some people ask about doing some grilling videos when I'm drinking beer too. So, but that
Heck
would be
yeah.
definitely something I think would be pretty cool to actually, you know,
Yeah, I kept getting sick of chasing the vents on the top and the bottom of the smokers.
yeah,
So I actually built it's called a heater meter. You can find them online. Runs off a $5 Raspberry Pi Zero, and
okay,
there's a fan that hooks to the bottom vent, and you just keep your top vent like at an inch. It doesn't matter how you keep it,
hmm
but you got your thermometer in there that tells what the temperature is inside the Kamado itself, and then you have it in the meat too. So you have your probes that are telling you what the temperature is, and it turns the fan on and off as it needs to keep the
Oh, nice.
keep it the way it
Keep it
is.
level for the heat and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So you don't have to sit there and watch it so hard. You
yeah,
know, um, I hate those when you're doing a real long smoke and you 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 don't watch it for a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're like 20 degrees off, and you have to go adjust it, and then you have to dick with it, and it just is a pain in the ass.
yeah.
So
That's definitely a device worth having for sure. And by the way, what I was tonight, because I don't know if you saw or not, but I'm actually
no,
drinking
I didn't.
the Bell's Oberon,
There you go.
which
Nice.
is, as I mentioned earlier, for me, this is like my spring beer. I don't have a lot of go-to beers where I come back to them each year, but I would say this is actually one I like to have each year to spring because when it comes out, it's usually matched up nicely for the springtime and the weather break in, and such an easy drinker too, and it's got that nice pale type feel to it and everything. So,
Right.
and so I like
So
that with the wheat ales where it gives a little bit more of a hoppiness.
oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
See, this is the time of year where I like to make the really nice lawnmower type beers where they're not real heavy. So, no stouts, no porters, nothing like that. Oh,
right.
what's up, man?
Got Swami in the
Mommy in
house.
the house.
He's got a beer. He's taking it easy. Tonight's a night he can actually kick back with the beer.
There you go.
He's got a
What's
nice
up,
little
Mommy? How you doing,
stout or
bud?
a porter.
I'm good. And yourselves?
Good, man.
Yeah, it's I'm just waiting for his weather. What I should have got today when I was out too. I haven't got any cigars in a bit. I want to get another cigar so I can kick back and relax with the weather breaking. But always enjoy a nice cigar still.
Yep.
So what you got there, Swami?
Typical.
Let's see here. Get you brought up.
Oatmeal stout.
Oatmeal stout. All right. Nice.
Montreal institution, Saint Ambroise. Best
Nice.
best large microbrewery in
Large, but not fully large enough to be a macro.
yeah. They're
Got you.
but they're big enough that they sell in the States. They sell in the eastern United States. They sell pretty much Ontario, maritime provinces. I think across Canada now. So
Yeah.
I can't really call them a micro. They're not like I'm pretty sure they're not even independent anymore. I think that they're probably backed up by one of the big three like Molson or Labatt or one of the other guys now. So
Yeah.
like a subsidiary without, but like they won't actually put it on the bottle or anything like that. They all get bought out at a certain point. So just too much money gets thrown at them after a while when they become, well known that,
I mean, you got some like Sierra Nevada that are still holding out, but
yeah.
Something like a Lagunitas said, okay, we'll take the check.
Well, as long as the product maintains quality, I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Well, that's a big part of it. Yeah. And
So
Gilbert has.
I had a very cool afternoon live.
Yeah, I was gonna say we actually were eating dinner at the time, so I didn't get a chance to jump on to check out the comedy, but it went well.
It went really well. Eric Roberts was really cool.
Nice.
We talked, and I brought up Best of the Best. Told him that was my favorite movie he was in, and he was laughing. And everyone thought I was going to say like the Pope of Greenwich Village or whatever the fuck. The one that was like, my thumbs, and I was like, no, Best of the Best, man. It was your best movie.
He did all right in Dark Knight, but he was kind of more of a
supportive Dark Knight. Everyone was saying Dark Knight, but.
Did you say how was it being Julia's younger brother, little brother?
I told him I really think his daughter was amazing in that movie I just saw recently, the kind of horror movie where like the Running Man style thing where it's like the political. What was it called? The one that just came out.
Was it Maze Runner or was it the other one with Jennifer Lawrence?
No, it was the new one, the rated R one that came out that was fucking hilarious. It has the girl from.
The Hunted thing.
The Hunt. Yeah, The Hunt. I think it was called The Hunt.
I haven't seen it. The Hunt. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to tell too much. She's in it, but told him that she did a good job in it. And he was very cool, very personable. Didn't act like a celebrity dick or anything like that. He was taking questions from people, and we also had the writers from the director and the writers from a lot of his movies that were there too. And it was nice, different.
That's really awesome. Fun. And then Gilbert said for hams, like the barbecue, and have 2 people over, and the 30-pack will be gone by 10 p.m. So,
probably before.
Yeah. So if you got a 30-pack, you better have a barbecue. You don't have to worry about holding a beer. He also said to clarify your beer, but yours was more like in general for the stuff you use anyway.
Yeah, so if it's something that needs to be cleared, I'll use Whirlflock, which is Irish moss. For like the Hefeweizens and stuff like that, you don't want to have a clarifying agent at all because it's a wheat beer. So you want to have that suspended stuff in there, which is okay, which is the proteins. So makes it good, makes it more filling beer. So.
We got Ashley in Sexton Brewing up in Canada as well. Rod Grilled is the best excuse to go outside and have a few beers. Good barbecue is the perfect investment. Well, you can do that, or you can go play golf. I've done that to get out and had a few beers too. And when you're playing golf away, the wife can't yell for you because you're not there. Right. And your girl, she can still yell for you.
Your ear still itches though.
Yeah, right. It does. Hey, and Ashley, if you want to jump on and join us, let me know. I'll get you the link as well, my friend. 6-row barley malt is a clear brew. 2 rows of cloudy adjuncts clear them up.
Yeah, most of my go-to, is usually 2 rows, 6 rows, and the Pilsner malts. You got to treat them a little differently. They need rests at certain temperatures when you're brewing with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Thomas Meadow says, "What's up?" So if you went in, Eric, let me know. I can get you a link, as well as Bamboo. Cheers, brother. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Yeah, this is like an open thing, so anybody that wants to jump on, just give me a shout.
Except if your name is Carrie, then it's not open, it's closed.
I just caught that there. I was like, what is never mind. I think West Virginia did okay in the draft today. I didn't watch any of the draft, but I don't think any players that were taken. They probably did. They usually do have a few players that go. Something else. Hey, Bamboo. Hope you're well, Erie said. And Tom said hello back to Sut. Hey, Erie, you too. And what's Rajay drinking? I am actually drinking the Bell's Oberon Ale. So end up getting a 6-pack of that.
That looks so Arizona. That
the sun, like the sun and everything. Yeah, kind of like a mine or some Indian feel to it. Oh, that's a nice one.
That's a very eggy looking head. It looks almost
frothy.
Yeah. Very like
it's a little high on the CO2 in the keg, but
that's the lime Hefeweizen.
Yeah, this is a lime Hefeweizen.
Looks like a meringue.
Yeah, it's really tight meringue bubble in here. I mean, the contrast against
that's homebrew.
Yep.
Wow. Watching you lick creamy substance off your fingers wasn't really the nicest thing to see, but
hey, there's people out there that watched and liked it, so
yeah, some people pay to watch videos of that, actually.
That's right. They got a free one tonight.
Yeah. Cheers.
Drink it down. You'll see the lacing's really nice on this.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I was actually watching educational video on because as a whiskey reviewer, I watch all things, and some professional reviewers were stating that people need to stop looking at the legs on the glass for the thickness or the mouthfeel of the whiskey, and to look more to tilt the glass if Rod wants to pan in so you can see.
Oh, I can span in.
All right. Yeah, so you got to tilt the glass and you got to look, and if you want to see like the alcohol volume, what you can do sometimes is just take a look, and if you see a green tint on it, that should be more information than the actual legs on the glass.
Huh.
I don't drink much hard liquor, so legs is different for the beer. So
yeah, it's I don't. Although really, I'm trying to think like how many people really talk about the beer community. I know like DJ's probably the biggest one from DJ's BrewTube. He always talks about legs and he does beers, but I don't see it a lot coming up on a lot of the videos. And depends how deep you want to get on it, I guess. But
yeah, I try to avoid talking about color because 90% of it's all added color to it anyways. But I try to stick to the nose, the palate, the taste when it's coming in, the finish. And I don't really care too much about the color. The color to me doesn't really come into
Speaking about the color added, this is what I got earlier. I don't know if you saw it or not, Swami. I don't think you were here yet, Brian, either. But when I went out, because I wanted to pick this up, I've had it before. We had a sampling when they were here. It's not whiskey; it's actually tequila. Yeah. It's a coffee-based, like chocolate tequila.
I've only got 3 tequilas in the bar, and I've got it in Añejo. I like tequila. I do. I think they're
you didn't really pick the tequila out. This one. It's so smooth.
I think tequila is up for a resurgence because of bourbon and whiskey and scotch going so high up in price. Even rye now is going up in price. That I think tequila, who's always been expensive, tequila is always, even cheap tequila is like about $30, $40 for a bottle. So I think tequila's up for a resurgence now because their prices are looking affordable now compared to bourbons, ryes, and scotches. So I think tequila's up for it, and I think cognac is going to make a big comeback soon. In our
I was going to say, I think is it The Rock that just launched his tequila that I saw the commercial for as well? I think The Rock now has a tequila as well. There's a few celebrities that have him. I think he was like one of the latest celebrities to actually now get into it. So,
well, it's gotten to a point with whiskey that it's been aged in every single type of barrel possibly imaginable. There's not much more that can be done to whiskey. So I'm guessing the next eventual step is just to switch over. Like when wine was insanely popular during the early the mid 90s all the way to the early 2000s, and then it dropped off the face of the earth in its popularity. And of course, premium vodka kind of came in for a while with the French vodkas. What was it called? The Grey Gooses and the Belvedere and all that shit like that. That was just pretty much just straight up normal Smirnoff, but whatever, French.
Yep.
I'm just it comes in waves, and I think whiskey's been the top dog now for a good close to 15 years. And I just see that, especially now with the COVID economy crash, luxury items are the first things that people stop taking off their list of things to buy when they're low on money. So I think this will be the time that whiskey prices start to go down, which will be good for the avid drinker like myself. Won't be great for the industry, but who cares? They made enough money off the dust. 15 years of
bottles and set them off to the side, man.
Yeah. They'll have to go back to normal pricing instead of raping people.
Well, I will say when I went to the store today and I picked that up with the rest of the beer I got earlier, there were a lot of sales stickers on the spirits that were there in the different aisles, and so you could tell that they were kind of taking a hit. They need to get the stuff moved, a lot more than what the beer stuff had, or even the wines. The liquors were really the ones that people were like fawning over and trying to get those deals.
Well, yeah, you gotta look at it this way. Like, you guys, as artisan beer drinkers, you understand that you're not the market that the beer industry is after. Like, a lot of people, we get caught in a bubble here on YouTube. We think that because we're in a community that feels very large, because there's a lot of people that watch us and follow us, we're still fucking a drop in the bucket. The 99.9% of the beer sales is going to be your Pabst Blue Ribbons, your Coors Lights, your
Oh yeah, I mean, they're always going to have macro. Yeah.
Same thing when it comes to whiskey. 90% of the whiskey sales is going to be, Wild Turkey,
Jack Daniel,
Red, your regular Johnny Walker Reds,
Jose Cuervo.
That's tequila, but I understand. So the industry itself doesn't really give a fuck about us. Like, I think we think more about ourselves than what the industries think about us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like going to McDonald's. They're going to make stuff for the mass for the most part.
Yeah.
You go to McDonald's, you know what you're going to get. It's the same mass burger, but you know it's a different burger than if you were to order it at Ruth Chris or Cheesecake Factory, where it might be more of a gourmet type feel. You're going to pay more for that one.
Yeah.
And most of the people are not going to be able to go to those places. They're going to be going to McDonald's.
Yeah.
So
yep.
That's just the economics of it all right there. Yeah.
The reason why I bring it up is I'm just saying, because of the lack of money, even us, our small portion that does drive up the sales of the higher end product line of, let's say, the beers and the artisan macro and micro beers, as well as the higher end whiskeys, those sales are going to drop because not every single one of us has the deep pockets that the industry thinks. Like, a lot of us are still maybe above the average rate of salary, but because of the economy right now, we're just getting by as well. So I think these sales are going to have to.
Yeah, those that have kept their jobs too. So there's so many variables right now going on. Oh my god!
I think we're at the last count today was 20 million, I think, from Friday filed over these last few weeks for unemployment. Yeah, so
we're 8 million. 8 million in Canada.
Yeah.
And we started opening up parts of the states. In some areas they were able to try. It's going to be interesting to see, because the things they were opening were still places where people had to touch people. It's kind of like, like in Georgia, was barbershop. Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah, the gym, which they show one of the owners in the gym on the news tonight, how he gets there early, wipes everything down. It's like, yeah, but you got to watch people at the gym. I've been to the gym, and a lot of people don't like to wipe stuff down when they're done. So
I'm just laughing when I heard on the news that they want to reopen bowling alleys. I'm like,
bowling alleys is another one. They were
the worst of the worst. First of all, you're sticking your fingers in a ball that everybody else is putting their finger into, and you're also wearing other people's shoes. I'm like, that might be the last place you want to open up.
But who doesn't like Kingpin, right? So who doesn't want to hang out with the dude?
I'd rather bang a dirty prostitute without a condom than go bowling right now. I'll tell you that.
You could probably get that in Georgia. Thrash metal fans do anything for getting Cool Whip licked off their fingers. There's Ron says smaller bubbles equal better beer. Jason in the house. Cheers, Jason. Hello, Rajay, and everyone on the panel and chat. Happy Saturday to you. Freshen up after a fire we had tonight. I'd love to join the panel in a few minutes. Well, just let me know when you get all freshened up there. Alabama Slammer, Yukon Jack plus ginger ale. I used to drink Alabama Slammers when I was back in college. I was a big Southern Comfort fan, and that's what we used, Alabama Slammer. There was hardly any beer in the store on the corner today. Wow. So had a little bit of a run there in your area there, real.
Wow.
I grabbed the last pack of Busch for the night.
Oh, the liquor stores around here where I'm at, I mean, they're just full. I mean, they're doing really good business. They're about the only ones. I mean, except, supermarkets and stuff like that. But, it's crazy.
Well, he said his grocery was also well stacked too. So he was some stuff there. Like our Kroger usually does well on beer. But he's had his Guinness, but the corner store is rather dry. And that could be something where maybe the corner store just isn't getting the deliveries because of their being so much smaller compared to like the grocery store and some of the other bigger spots. Ron said, plentiful in Ohio. Yeah, we're not going to run out of beer in Ohio or Kentucky for that matter.
Do you notice the guys walking in the back of that glass of beer that you have up? Have you ever looked at that? The bubbles?
No, I actually got it early today, but I see that now with the shadow, like through the glass or whatever. Yeah, it's interesting.
Those people are not 6 feet away from each other, man.
No, that's a pre-social distance pour.
And non-social distance pour.
I told you about the story about the cops that pulled me over last week.
I don't think you did.
I didn't tell you about that. So I'm riding my motorcycle and I get pulled over by cops because I'm not in my region. And you know how they're like blocking off separate regions to not spread the virus everywhere.
Yeah.
So two cops pull me over and they get out the car and they look at me and they go, "Do you live in this area?" And I go, "No." And they go, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm stretching my legs. I'm going for a ride. Just trying to get some air. I'm social distancing. I'm not with anybody." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, you can't really be in this area. You got to turn back around." I go, "Okay. So I'm guessing you and your partner live together then." And they just like look at each other.
Ooh. You want yourself your son.
Yeah.
And they looked at each other. They looked at me. They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I don't know. You guys are two guys in a car. Are you supposed to be 6 feet apart? Is one of you driving in the back seat in the trunk or something while the other one's?"
Wow.
Some parts of the state, you might not make it back home.
He just told me turn around and go back to your house. And I was like, "Okay."
Then he called you smart ass, I'm sure.
Sorry.
Some parts of the states, they'd be like, "You got a pretty mouth there, boy."
We're about 50 miles from nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, tree over there.
I just love the way they love to enforce laws that they don't seem to have to follow, even though by law they're supposed to follow.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, it's like the whole thing about
the rule.
The thing about the phone and the texting, and you pull next to a police car, and he's sitting there on the phone and on the computer doing all kinds of stuff. Like, what the hell?
Right.
It's like, you're not supposed to be using all this stuff. You got a damn computer over there you're trying to type on while you're driving.
I love when me and my friends are riding, and if we're not riding in formation, like legal formation, which means one in the front, one in the back, you got to be like that. If we're riding breast to breast, we're in trouble. Yet the cops always do it. You always see two cops on two motorcycles riding breast to breast.
Yeah.
All right. Rules don't apply to you.
Yeah, Real Man said gyms are last place that should be open. I agree. Well, the gyms and the massage parlors. I mean, they got those open down there too. Freaking crazy Georgia. I was like, Georgia, South Carolina's got some stuff. I think Texas might be trying to do some stuff. I know the Las Vegas mayor is trying to get the casinos like opened.
Fucking idiot.
And it's like, they're like, how you going to social distance in here? And it's like, well, we won't have a chair at this lot. I was like, that's not going to work out because people like to go to their things when they think it's hot. It's like, I don't know. She seemed a little bit flaky when I saw her talking for a little bit.
I'm all cool with I'm really cool with regions opening up that don't have big mass fucking problems with coronavirus. It's not a problem. I honestly think that's actually a good thing, that just to kind of kickstart the economy a little bit, the regions that don't have the virus spreading, like the ones that have like 9, 10, maybe even like 100 cases, fine, open back. But anything over like 500 cases, you can't, because it's just going to blow up, man. And they don't understand. Italy, they have doctors fucking crying because they had to pick between fucking patients of who they're going to let live and who they're. And I understand people our age don't have to worry about the virus. Maybe not Rod and Thrash Metal's age, but my age, we don't really have to worry about.
Oh, I mean, you've had people die in your age group.
Yeah, I know. Not that many. But still,
like, to talk shit about the older age groups.
Yeah. I'm like Clint Eastwood. I'll still whip your ass. I was watching Gran Torino earlier tonight.
When people my age think like that, we have to also think about people these two guys' ages and not. You understand? Like,
and like that, Swami was gone. What happened? I don't know.
I heard he had internet issues.
Yeah,
I heard him knocking the door. It was two cops.
If you like, if you like,
two cops that live together.
If you like watching Thrash Metal and Rod BeerVentures, stay indoors. That's all I'm trying to say.
You're like me and Thrash are like grumpy old men or something here. We're not that much older than you, really.
I'm not a doctor, but I can already tell you got a heart condition, Rod. Right?
Who, me? Yeah. No, I'm good.
Roger, you can have an aneurysm.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Real Man said they still drinking Billy beer, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, anyone showed the light ball in their ass yet? No, but we know Swami probably will at some point here. It's a Canadian thing. Actually, it's in Canada. I'm saying it's a Canadian thing.
I have Lysol in my vape right now as we're talking.
Yeah, there you go. Ingest it, baby.
Yeah. Kills the virus in one.
Don't know. It may work. Don't know. I loved Alabama Slammers. The Alabama Slammers were really good back in the day to actually to enjoy living the college life. All right, I'll shoot you the link here in a second, Eric. Working a grocery, no problem for what I want. LOL. You got must have the toilet paper hidden then, because some places are still having trouble with toilet paper.
I haven't seen missing toilet paper. The hardest thing to fucking find. Luckily, I have a lot of alcohol that's over 60% in my bar, but it's the hand sanitizer that's like liquid fucking gold. That shit.
Oh yeah, that's like finding gold now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're making our own here.
Yeah. Well, I've got right here. I've got this bottle right there that's at 61. I've got one that's at 75.5.
There you go. Yep, that's good sanitizer.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Let's see here. I got to get Eric the link here.
Eric. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks with some of the states opening up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens, but you do see that they are, they are doing some testing, I believe, on those that have antibodies. They were talking about a lot of people have already been infected and they didn't even know, because they're asymptomatic and all that stuff. But
it's something like 75% of the people that contracted are asymptomatic. It will never get symptoms, which is that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the concern is they don't know fully yet from at least we're being told what the antibodies can do. And their reports just came out this weekend saying there's things that may show you can actually get it more than once.
Yeah.
So before you couldn't get it more than once. So now it's like if you can get it, like they clear people to say, well, you had it already. They go back and they pick it up again. They don't know they picked it up again.
Different strain. It may have mutated. Who knows, man?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, Fauci at this point is pretty much concerned and feels as though we are going to have another one here in the fall, possibly. So, which
it's always funny
on it, but it's kind of like, if it happens, we got to be prepared for it.
It's always funny watching those press conferences because they're so completely not on the same page. I was talking to Rod about this yesterday. And it's not just Trump and Fauci. It's like every country's politician next to the doctor are completely on different sides of the spectrum, and they do the press conference together. And you think that before the press conference, they'd get together and be like, okay, this is what we're going to discuss, try to stay on the same page and this and this. and it's like like the politician's always a politician. He's always up there trying to talk about the
of course. Yep.
And the doctor's always thinking about the people. The doctor's always like, sorry, no. No. And it's like
I'm in agreement. The president's up there, he's trying to, calm the country. At the same time, you got scientists up there that are stating numbers. You know what I mean?
They're doing facts while the politicians are.
I'm just waiting for.
Yeah,
I'm
waiting for one of the scientists just to be like, just to go De Niro like Taxi Driver. Are you talking to me? You talking to me?
Well, they had it with the lady when Trump was talking about the Lysol and shit like that. Even though he didn't state.
Briggs was like, I know you're not talking to me, right? Like Briggs had her head down, like I'm not going to address this. And he was talking to the other guy though, but it wasn't her. She was just like.
The funniest to me is Boris in England because he had it and he almost fucking died. And then he goes on, he's all like, "Oh, some of you are gonna lose your parents, but you're gonna have to go back to work." And it's like, what a heartless fuck.
Well, we got Congress people here in the States that are like, well, some people may have to die, but we got to get back to work.
Oh, they're fucking idiots.
Well, yeah, you're insulated. You don't have to worry about going anywhere because you're in Congress.
And you're getting a paycheck.
You're right.
My favorite are the religious motherfuckers, the ones that like say, "Well, I'm covered in Jesus' blood." I was like, what the fuck? First of all, that's horrific. You're walking around with Jesus' blood all over you. Like, what's going on? Second, like, what the fuck does that
Not like Gary, where it's like, yeah.
Gary. It just hit me.
Are you wearing blood coming to work? It's Jesus's blood. It's Jesus's. So
I spent $100 on this dress.
If you can't accept the blood of Jesus, I don't know if I want to work here anymore.
I'm just like, I hope you don't have any open wounds if you're covered in fucking somebody else's blood.
So right now, I've actually switched it up and kind of going big for a little bit here. So I went over to the Fruitful Fort from Dogfish Head. So this is the 18% big one from them. Pretty much like drinking a bottle of wine, really.
There you go.
So, and with
Someone
that,
was asking for our links in the chat. I'll go ahead and post mine.
Yeah, definitely.
Jason Patton wants a link too.
Yeah, me. What's up, Eric? How you doing, bro?
Speaking of Paps, with the Paps t-shirt on,
75. Fill her up.
It's a big old mug you got there.
That's more than one beer.
And yeah. Is your mic on? You're muted.
Yeah, still drinking that. Hell yeah.
There you go. That's all he ever drinks is freaking Trillium.
I know. I'm jealous.
Every time he shows up, it's a fucking Trillium beer.
They sponsor him.
But he's wearing a Pap shirt. Yeah.
He's legally not allowed. He's legally not allowed to drink any other beer.
You're still muted. You muted yourself again.
No, he's not muted anymore.
Now he's not. He was trying to talk before that. We can't hear you though. You got the right microphone.
All right.
He's going to do a mime show next, people. So hang on for that.
What happens when you drink Lysol?
Or inject it.
Drink Lysol.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, injected with the needle.
All right. I posted my link in the chat.
Here he said, Rod, I found a shirt I told Alan we were going to buy and send you. Oh, that should be interesting. And when's Alan going to get shirts for the Eclectic Beard Show too, by the way? Roman works in stock, so he's working in stock, so he keeps the stuff he needs to the side, I'm sure. But going to the corner store can be grim. So how are they going to arrest you without touching you and putting you in the same car? Talking about the police.
Anyone wants to arrest you, this is what you do.
No, the police in Philly, they pulled the guy out from the bus because he didn't have a mask on. It's like, They're like, you're breaking your own social distancing rules. Why don't you just give them a mask? Like, you guys have extra masks from what we've been told.
Right.
Yeah. And real man did what Swami said. All you can do is cough enough and then get the fuck out of there. Supposedly our governor's extending our stay at home, get opening things back up. That's kind of contradictory, but it is South Carolina. 85 in the whole country, 5 dead, probably just old here. Think we safe. We can put order for TP as a worker, we get it. Well, that's good. That's how you disinfect your insides by taking that stuff. And then when we make half of what we get on unemployment, it's definitely the least they can do. Yeah.
Same time though,
some places, depending where you're at, with someone that told me from what they were getting, if they went on unemployment, they were actually getting maybe even a little bit more than what they were actually earning. So
I'm making
depending where you're at,
making a little bit less, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm making about 75% of what I'd make if I was actually working. So I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. Especially when there's nothing to do, nothing to buy, nothing open. Like can't really do anything. But people got to understand it's not free fucking money. You have to make sure that you understand that you're getting taxed on all this shit. So it's not, this is not a
right
party. Try to keep some of that cash.
Damn, here we go.
I know.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I know a lot of Americans hit the gun store and bought an AR-15 with their fucking.
A lot of Americans are already stocked up on that, though. So a lot of that one's already covered. The ones going in now, like the Johnny Come Latelys, it's kind of like the weekend bike riders, right?
With them.
It's like you call yourself a biker, but you only ride on the weekends. You're not really a biker. And then Swami, did you put your
weekend warrior
link in the comment as well?
I don't want people to subscribe to my channel.
You shutting it down?
No, there's enough. I have enough people.
Come on, man.
I've got enough subscribers. I don't need any more.
All right.
The bus is full, man. The bus is full. All right.
Oh, like the one guy could have came into your channel would have been like offering you some type of contract or something.
I've told you, I've had.
I know you got enough money. I know. He goes like,
I've had enough fucking industry insiders wanting to fucking blast their shit on my fucking channel. I don't need a free bottle. I have my own money. I'll buy my own fucking bottle. Thank you very much.
Way to be.
No, that's if you want me to sell out, you got to give me a reason. That means you got to pay me. Pay me money. I react to money. I don't want no free fucking bottle.
All right, so we've got the last known Nirvana fan here on the panel.
Ooh, this guy? Whoa.
No, they're about to not selling out.
Oh yeah.
I would not.
Yeah, I'm doing it wrong if I'm trying to sell out.
Ticket. I don't care what you tell me.
I'm selling out. I'm just not cheap.
Yeah, well, to hit the right price level. Okay, gotcha.
Everyone's got a price.
Everyone's a hooker.
Price is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not selling out for beer or fucking whiskey. I'm selling out for money.
All right.
I don't need a t-shirt or an ashtray with your fucking product placement on it.
What you got going on there?
Get a BB Barfly with your name on it. Great beer.
I've got my own merchandise to sell. I don't need to sell theirs.
Smart.
Yeah.
Fucking smart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like, if you got a channel, why not make some of your own merchandise? Because you're just paying for someone else to wear advertise. They might not advertise yourself if you're going to make a nice polo or a t-shirt or something like that and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make them for what you're buying them for.
I got iPhone cases for my merchandise.
Yeah, I got those too. Yeah. Got bumper stickers, license plates, all kinds of stuff.
I was trying to get
license plate. Yeah.
I'm trying to get.
I'm even going to drive around with a beer license plate. Though. Yeah,
breaker. We're following a white Ford Bronco license plate, Rod J.
But on the wall, you can put it on your wall. Still looks nice.
I'm trying to get a UV light butt plug going there. I think they'll sell pretty good right now. So.
Swami in the ass. There you go.
Alex, the ass master butt plug. No.
People on there, you got that swami ass.
Shaped like my nose.
Nose deep in the ass. Oh, Eric, say something. What are you drinking? You got the Congress Street?
Yeah, that's my go-to for the Trillium stuff when it's available. I like this stuff better than the Heady Topper or the Focal Banger. I'd have to go side by side with Focal Banger, but compared to Treehouse, I find that this is just a little bit more complex and malty and I guess yeasty. If that makes any sense, it's a little more complex than your Treehouse stuff. But if you like straight up juice, you're not going to go wrong with either or. But this one's like less just in your face. Just imagine drinking juice and not beer. But both of those companies do amazing things. But this one's really good. It's got a little bit of that spicy yeast thing going on. It's got that orangey, grapefruity pith going on, and I am getting a good amount of the white bready malt. And this is 7.2. It does taste a little bit on that side, but it's still medium body, crushable, drinkable. You want a good beer? Yeah, this one's a great way to start your adventure in New England if you're ever here. Sure, yeah.
Nice.
I think it's 17 and change for a 4-pack. So actually not the most expensive Trillium style New England IPA on the market. So pretty good deal for what it is. Yeah.
Cool. The only Trillium I've had, I think Joe from the Beer Patrol has sent me Trillium in Treehouse one time, and because you can't get it down here really. So
you can't get it here either.
Yeah.
Treehouse is just a little bit safer on how it sort of tastes. It's not going to pull you in a lot of different directions where you're constant. Well, for their juicier beers, you're not going to be constantly analyzing and thinking about what am I getting this way or that way. No, you know what you're getting, at least in a beer called Julius.
Yeah. Julius, a little bit of a hint there.
That thing is it's amazing how they use 4 different ingredients, and that's what you get out of that beer. It's mind-boggling. It's pretty good brewing ingenuity.
Roman said, all I have to do is punch out a stupid customer and get twice the pay.
I think when he gets fired, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you get fired, they can challenge you in the unemployment, so I wouldn't go punching the customer yet. Almost forgot the thumbs up. Well, I appreciate you hitting that thumbs up, my friend.
Thumbs up before you punch them out.
Yeah. Right. People here are making 600 unemployment on top.
Hey, how's it going?
Of their regular unemployment. Well, that's good. So we're getting a little bit of an extra boost there. $875 a week in Florida for unemployment.
That's pretty good.
And clear for 50. So
not bad.
Yeah. Jason said, my son works for a toilet paper company. They gave him 3 cases. Well, that's good. Yeah.
That's a shitty business to be in.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad
didn't give you a crappy deal.
Total BS. I'm face to face with thousands a day and I make half. What a joke. Yeah, it was funny. When I bought the beer at the beer store I went to, they had like one level, like this plexiglass in front of the cash registers, which was actually kind of stupid because it was like on the other side of plexiglass where you put your stuff on the counter and the cashier still had to come over there. They were still getting close to you on that end. And then when you go to pay your card, there was no plexiglass there either. And the cashier was on that side when they were bottling your stuff or putting it in the box. It's like this whole thing, you got like one space and people are moving all around you. Plus, there was actually some of them had on a mask, some of them didn't. But then people were coming in. I would say about 80% of people had a mask, but like 20% probably didn't. And I got that stuff, and I know the store. I've been there, was a party source, so I came back onto my Twitter. I pretty much hit them up like, "Hey, it was great. You guys have a lot of good stuff in stock." But I also hit them up like, "It's kind of bad that you kind of fail like on the social measures, like." You got your employees out here, like not all protected. Because I was talking to the cashier about it and how she felt unsafe about it. And, you got people coming in. You're letting people in without masks. Some places you can't do that here. But you're letting them come in, and then all your people aren't getting masks. And I just said, you should really take more care about your employees. You should care about what happens to them. I know I do as a customer and set it off to them. But, it's kind of like get on board with, if you're going to have your people in the front line, because a lot of times those people get skipped over. And they're in the front line as well dealing with people.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Well, I went.
They were talking about in Massachusetts wanting to close down grocery stores for people going in it, and I kind of thought that was crazy. However, that's exactly the what came at me when I said it was crazy. Is you got to think about those people too, and no one's not, but it's just crazy to think about at this stage. Maybe it's a lot further apart than I think it is between the time that we're gonna be at now and then the time that we're getting back to normalcy. I just think it's crazy that that's one of those things that we need to have, and you got to order it on phone, online, and wait for people to deliver it to your car. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But I just never thought that a grocery store was going to get to that point, but maybe so.
I've been saying for the last month, which I don't understand, because the police officers, the paramedics, the doctors, the nurses, they're all getting paid hazard pay right now. The truck drivers are getting paid hazard pay right now, which is time and a half of what you normally make. It's like making overtime, but you're making it. Some reason the grocery clerks are not getting hazard pay. And I think that the grocery clerks and the pharmacists are probably even more danger than the other guys because they don't have the fucking same protections as the other fucking workers.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying your mom and pop little dime bag grocery store or your artisan little grocery store. I understand. They don't have the money to do that. But when Kroger's, Sobeys, all those Walmarts, all the rest of that shit, they got the fucking money. Shut the fuck up. And pay the hazard.
Yeah, like our Kroger here, they all have to wear a mask now, so they're all providing them with masks.
Yeah, hazard pay. It should be time and a half every fucking. Bullshit.
Yeah, the crazy one that I heard talking about pay and payments and that kind of thing was, what was it that I heard? That was it Ruth let me try that again. Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Yeah.
They made, what did I hear on the news? They made $40 million last year, and they were already guaranteed stimulus refund or assistance from the government. They're already guaranteed $20 million in the United States.
I think they made like 400 million. I think they made 400 million last year.
The most disgusting.
And they turned the money back in. They turned the money back in after getting pressured by everybody.
I hope so, because that's a crazy number for. I'm not saying they're not a legit. That's not what I'm saying. They're a luxury business for what they do and who they serve. But damn, that's a lot of money that not necessarily. They don't have to. They don't need all of that, but it's nice that they get some. But they don't need all. That's a lot of money. Wow, it's more than they probably need. Probably.
Yeah. The most disgusting story I've heard is a lot of the restaurants that didn't board up, but whatever, shut down during the coronavirus, stole all their waiters and bartenders fucking tips to pay the bills for the next month instead of handing them.
No, that's just.
Unfortunately, believe
that. Like on the last week. Because at the end of the week, they're supposed to pay out the tips. And what they did was board it up before the fucking employees could come in, sent them their regular payday check, but not their tips. And they just fucking kept them.
Oh, that's trash.
That's full on theft right there. But,
yeah. That's like, I'll find out where you live.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah. That's the beginning.
If my boss I work as a bartender. If my boss would have done that, I would have just went straight to his house and fucking knocked his teeth out.
The ultimatum is what? That's the only thing I have to say about that. What's the ultimatum? You bitch and you moan about that. What is that going to do? I agree with all of that sentiment with tips and stuff, but what are you going to do about it?
I mean, after that, you try to do like a legal recourse, but the legal recourse is going to help you if their business closes or something.
Well, they're not.
What are you going to do after the fact? Once it's all goes
it's going to be tied up before by the time you get the money. It's still. It's just bad. I mean,
kick his ass. That's all. Fuck that.
That's all he can really do. That'll give you the quickest satisfaction. Somewhat.
Makes sense. Does it make sense to try to do anything about it now? Not really.
No. Well, yeah, but they got a lot of stuff they got to definitely work out with all that. And like I said, it's because we all know like Sparkles Michelle. She works for one of the chains under Kroger, I believe, and
she does.
She's out there like on the front line dealing with that stuff and. It's just kind of crazy, but
I can't stand the companies that are putting people on furlough. That's some twisted.
Yeah, it is. It's stupid.
Yeah. Mine went.
Well, the one thing here from that PPP plan is to get all your money, you have to keep all your employees on it for a period of time for that loan to be forgiven. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, are you still out right now on furlough? Then, like, you still they didn't bring you back, Eric, or anything, or?
No, not yet. But the main, well, there's two main reasonings for that. I'm in the sports industry, so there's your number one primary reasoning why that hasn't happened yet. And number two, even before that happened, while the coronavirus was happening, we were on the front lines. Well, we were on the front lines business wise, with making of our product. We make headwear and apparel for sports leagues, including other sports leagues throughout the world. So all the Asian countries, and some of like a Pakistan is one of them. Bangladesh is another one. They're all closing their factories and doing limited things because of their outbreak months and months before we did. So we've been trying to work with them the best that we could, but because they're closing down their shops, basically, it was hard for us to do business at first. And then when it hit the United States, it's like all the businesses that we do business with are closing their doors. I think that store Lids that makes all the hats, they laid off everybody but 5 people in their corporate office. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
And so if that's happening and the sports leagues number 2 are closed, well, who are we selling to and what are we making product for? We've been trying to tell businesses and the factories that we do business with to take all of our orders and stop making them as much as you can. And if you've made them, we're going to figure out what to do with them. We've had like almost $20 million worth of product floating around on the water and in the air. It's nuts. And then in the middle of trying to figure out what to do with it, then my company goes and furloughs for 12 weeks. That was at the end of the 3rd week of March, maybe. So hopefully June. But once this whole thing gets back up, since I'm in purchasing, that's going to be probably one of the first, I would think, departments to get back up and rolling, because we do orderings for these factories, and we deal with our supply chain and how to move orders. So we're a big part of what happens.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, it's crazy.
With the whole sports thing, that's definitely something. Well, that company Liz, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it that much longer, because they're such a big mall commodity. A lot of their stores are in malls, and malls are just on their way out in a lot of areas.
The other thing we put a lot of, not all of our eggs, we put a lot of eggs in the basket towards the XFL. Wow.
They're
probably not even going to move on as an
No, they already announced he was folding that league.
Yeah,
why would you guys invest in the XFL, the biggest failure of the 90s in the first place? Why would you seriously
2001, but yeah.
I think it actually takes off, because the first time that came around, I'm sure Rod remembers
it was going really good up until coronavirus, primarily due to the fact that we had exclusive rights. The 47 brand had exclusive rights for every one of the sideline coaches. All the coaches and all the sideline coaches were wearing our product. We were doing really good with that. We actually had a really nice deal with it, and then this shit happened week 5. Boy!
But I love the idea of the XFL. Even the first time it was around, it's Vince McMahon's dream of having a football league without the protections of the NFL. It's pretty much all it is, or the money.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, the big thing versus what happened in 2001 is we not only did the United States try to take it seriously, at least on paper, but we made it less like the WWE, where late hits legal. We're going to take sideline chairs and smash it over the face of people. That's like less what the XFL was trying to do. So in essence, it was more of a players league, and for novices that have a hard time understanding the game of football, they were going to get a lot of knowledge about football throughout a broadcast, which I liked a lot. So that's kind of sad that aspect goes away. But maybe that's a quicker opportunity for those guys to get into the NFL.
No, some of them did get signed over to the NFL, though. Yeah, some of them.
I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. It's a shame that that's what happened to them, but that's better. That's better. They're better off that way.
There's so many options for football players that they wouldn't even have to do the XFL, because you got the European League, you've got the CFL, you've got the arena football leagues in the States. It's like 600 now.
Yeah. But NFL's the big money now.
I know. But like I'm just saying, XFL, it lasted 2 seasons in the 90s, and it fucking crashed and burned because the players weren't getting paid.
It's a tough time for the XFL too because they try to do it in the spring so it doesn't compete against the NFL.
Yeah.
And here we're so wrapped into March Madness, the opening of baseball season. You still got the NFL draft. You got NBA taking place. It's just not room for it, I think. And then here they've been such a big push on soccer that now you got all these soccer leagues taking over. So it's kind of like the XFL just had a hard uphill to try to go.
Yep.
I mean, maybe if they did bring somebody off the top ropes, it might have sold better. Like, you know, if the punter had to kick it by a certain amount of time or else somebody was clotheslining him or power driving him or something like that. I mean, maybe that would have sold some more tickets. I've always said if we had an enforcer in golf that if you didn't hit the ball in time and you were getting taken out like by LT or something, it would make it more exciting.
The caddy gets tombstone pile drived.
Yeah, it's like you're up there waggling that stick, and next thing you know, LT's barreling down on you. I bet you'll hit that fucker.
Right.
Yeah.
They should do hockey rules. Like they should do hockey rules where they could have fights. That would
Michael Strahan with his gap in his tooth running at you. The Patriots are going, holy fuck, get out of the way. Even Tom Brady's out of the way.
Let's see.
The refs can't interfere until someone hits the ground.
Right. 16-year-old at MCD at McDonald's makes more than me now. Oh.
On that one.
I hope not. I hope not.
And shout out to JM52G. Thanks for subbing. I appreciate that. Wash it down with a Yingling Dark. Now you're talking about like the Yingling Black and Tan, which is a good one to wash it down with.
That's okay.
Just get no hazard pay, which sucks. Like you're like right there in that store, and I see more people in a major chain. Yeah, you do see more people coming through, like the big grocery stores and Big Corp taking the money. Yeah. You're on a roll, my friend.
I mean, that's nothing new. Big corporations taking money. That's nothing new.
Yeah, no, it's not, but that is true.
Is what it is right now. Yeah, you're taking away from somebody else that can make something out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. They get unemployment, so it's dumb. Yeah. And this is why you
I was livid when I heard about this. When I heard about this furlough, your mind is just going all over the place, and you have to sit down and really analyze what it means. I mean, I don't want to sound like it's like one for all, but you got to really sit down and think about how it's going to affect you and what you have to do. And and I know everybody else I know there's a lot of other organizations, even the NFL is talking about if you can help. But if you need to do your own thing, do that first, and then you can worry about trying to help out your fellow man. As wrong as that sounds, maybe that doesn't sound that wrong.
I think
you know what the funny thing is? Like you see all these commercials. Well, you see all the commercials, the Corona type stuff anyway, and people, we're all in together, all kind of stuff. But when it gets into the sports scene, you see athletes that are doing stuff, right? You'll see like so and so did this in this town, and so did that. How come you don't see really many of the owners? You saw the one owner, which was the Patriots owner, right? That they flew over to get stuff to help out. But like, where's Jerry Jones?
Yeah,
where are these other guys that have all these other dollars that people support coming to these games?
Jerry
Why aren't
Jones
they
is
throwing money
sitting on
back
that
in?
giant white leather couch making deals in the draft.
It's really weird because the worst owner in the NHL, which is my team's owner, Eugene Melnick, who's known, even Rod probably knows, is known as the cheapest owner in the fucking league. He's actually been the most benevolent of the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's paying all the staff, even the ones that like are full salary till this shit's over. He bought lunches for like all the hospitals and shit like that in the Ottawa area, and he's been going all out. But I think he needs the press, like the positive press, because
he got such a bad rep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you definitely have some doing stuff. Like for instance, Mark Cuban's had done great gestures out of Dallas. He's paid all the not just the team, but the employees that worked at the stadium and all that kind of stuff. He's doing all to make sure they're taking. Yeah. But it's like Mark Cuban's like one of 30 owners in the NBA. What are so many other people actually doing? You just don't hear as much as them maybe they're just getting press in their local areas, but like Cuban, he was like on national press for stuff he was doing. Bob Kraft was on national stuff for stuff he had done. You're not seeing other people out there. You kind of just wonder why aren't I'm in Cincinnati, why isn't Mike Brown doing something? Yeah. He makes a ton of money off the city and the Bengals because the city basically paid for his stadium anyway. So he should be out there
Joe
doing
Burrow.
Joe
Burrow.
I'm hoping the one positive that comes out of this at the end is one thing that's going to hopefully happen is that there's going to be an insanely large job market when this shit opens up right now, because
I would hope so.
everyone that's like left their work, it's just there's going to be a lot of like shuffling of the deck is pretty much what I mean. Like it's a kind of opportunity at the end of this shit for everyone, if they're not happy where they are, to go somewhere else, to just get the fuck out of where it is. It's almost like a reset button, maybe.
Yeah. I think not to put like a morbid tone or whatever, I think it's going to be a reshaping of everything. Like an industry that I'm in the financial services industry, the company's going to realize, we saved this amount of money by having people stay home, so they can actually do some stuff there, and that's going to help them save some dollars. And I think some companies are going to have to actually expand their spaces for social distancing, possibly going forward. So they may end up cutting some other positions.
Yeah.
You're going to have a change, I think, like in the idea of the restaurant landscape. Like you're going to have people that are still going to go out once it's back up, but they're not going to go out maybe as much. It's going to be kind of a weird thing. Our waiters or waitresses going to have to wear a mask and gloves, and it's going to be kind of a weird feeling. You know, if you're out there, they did one experiment where they show like air conditioning can actually move the virus possibly around in other spots where you're outside that 6 feet. So people themselves aren't feeling maybe comfortable to go out there, so it's going to be harder on some of those spots.
I think in the short term, in the short term, it's going to be hard. I think there's always a bounce back. 2008 bounce back within 9 months. There was a bounce back. It wasn't 6 years. It wasn't this and that. It was 9 months, and the shit bounced back.
You're looking at it like from the economy bouncing back. I think, right?
No, I'm looking at it as an overall bounce back. People like, especially the ones that are pissing me off the most. We've talked about this to death, me, you, and Rod, about the 401k situation. Unless you're fucking 79, have cancer, and you're about to die in the next 6 months, shut the fuck up about your 401k. It's going to come back. All right?
No, that stuff will definitely bounce back. But here's the thing, for instance.
Like, but I don't want to hear it. Like, oh, my 401k is worthless. You're fucking 27.
You're fine. You have that build up, but
there's much to go, people.
There's things that shift over time that shift industries.
Yeah.
So right now, for instance, Georgia, one of the things they're trying to open is a movie theater. I don't know a lot of people that are comfortable going to a movie theater as well because of the space, and you're basically sitting and stuff. Are you going to have somebody disinfecting the seat every time a showing is done?
Why would you go to a movie theater anyways? I literally the only time I go to a movie theater is when my wife. The thing is, my wife forces me to go. Like, I fucking hate movie theaters. I have a comfortable TV. I've got an illegal feed where I can watch fucking movies that are in the movie into my TV.
Yeah, you can, but that's
legal.
But I'm saying it's still an industry. So
hey, where are those two cops?
If more people decide, right, they're living together. If more people decide to not go, if the more people decide to not go, then you have a shift, just like you did when you had the drive-ins shift out. Because people weren't doing it anymore, because now they can go to their matinees where they can watch at home on
drive-ins. There you go. We'll replace movie theaters with drive-ins. Drive-ins are on the outside, you know?
Right, but I'm saying you're changing the industry over, but at a point you may not have to change it too much. On the other aspect, you're going to have more automation coming into play for a lot of position stuff too. So that's going to also become more of a reality in a lot of positions, I believe.
I think people are going to learn a little different. What hopefully is going to change. Thankfully, especially in my fucking province, no more kissing on the cheeks with fucking random women that I don't know and don't care about. This fucking kiss cheek shit. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, stop fucking doing that. I don't want to hug you. Every time my wife's friends come over,
you're such a personable person, Swami.
Salami. No more of that.
I've been fist bumping my entire life, and people finally understand why. I'm like, I don't want to shake your fucking hand. I don't want to give you a hug. I'm like, leave me alone. This is, you know me.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody around my radius ever, even without coronavirus.
Homebrew.
My perspective.
Yeah.
But you know that woman when you work in an office, the worst. They always put their hand on your fucking thigh. What the fuck is that? Like, if you do that to a chick, you're getting put in human resources in 5 seconds. They always feel like they can put their hand on your thigh while they talk to you. What the fuck is that? It's always the oldest, ugliest woman in the office who's like, well, why are you touching me? Like, you don't
Are
have.
you having Mrs. Robinson
Trying to
moments at
cop a
work there?
feel off
Tom?
you.
To you, Mr. Thrash
I love
Metal,
those.
homebrews and barbecue joints. Oh yeah.
The ones,
You try
the
to
ones
sleep
like,
for a higher grade there?
they call you sweetie and hun all the time. They put their hand on your shoulder while they're
Cool.
talking. It's like, no, don't fucking touch me. I'm not allowed to touch you.
Don't touch me.
But that's
Don't
not
touch me.
Oh god! In my head, it's like what you call what was
Swimming?
the Velvet movie with Dennis Hopper? Don't you look at me! Don't you look at me! Blue Velvet.
My
I told
God.
you don't look at me.
I hate
Does she look like a bitch? No.
like my wife's friend, like one time they came to my restaurant to eat and stuff, and she came in and she complained to my wife because I didn't give her the 2 kisses on the cheek and hugged her. And then my wife like had to explain. My sister-in-law too. She loves fucking hugging, touching me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't. Just hey, say hello. Hi. That's, hello. There you go. Fuck off now.
Did you have cutie issues as a child,
Cootie.
Swami?
I don't like being fucking touched unless I invite you.
No, I understand. My wife's not a touchy person either. She just like being touched either.
I don't like close talkers. Fuck, I can't stand that shit.
Close talkers are pretty bad. At least with this, you don't have to worry about the close
Hello,
talker
how you
anymore.
Face.
It's like because if they're a close talker and they try to get close, you're in range for a throat punch. And you
Yeah.
don't want a throat punch, so I advise you to back up.
I don't want to smell your fucking disgusting coffee breath after you've had 6 coffees in the morning. Come fucking start talking to me. Fucking smell like
So,
my
like,
my fucking nose hairs are singeing off my fucking face while you're yakking. Like, seriously.
coffee grounds and cigarette butts.
Yeah,
That's a great employee you speak of highly right there.
Yeah.
Swami.
Get the fuck out of my face, man.
Romance said it's a double whammy. They're covering it twice. They get a stimulus. It's BS. I type like shit, but you get I got what you're saying there, so I understand.
Right? Like chitlets? What?
Swami needs a shirt that says "I'm still social distancing." Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
You know, you get a shirt that says "social distancing since birth."
Social distancing. That sounds like a good hardcore metal band right there.
GTFA, get the fuck away.
That's one thing I like about this shit is no one's trying to fucking hug me or touch me. It's great.
Yeah.
Come over here, Swami. No.
Oh, Romance said Frick Sports not even worth talking about now. Well, I mean, you can't really do anything with the sports. Stupid overpaid athletes that go back and ruin their lives after they're $10 million for running fast. Oh my god. No, I mean, there's athletes that definitely have done well. So it's not like they all run out of money. There's athletes that take care of communities and stuff too. It's just, you know, a lot of it puts more on the athletes, and I think that gets put on the owners themselves. Like you expect athletes to have these different things, but you know, I guess I just
Someone's
saying
got to pay them, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know,
Who
like
does that?
Chris Rock had done a routine one time talking about being rich and being like wealthy. He's like, no, he's like Shaquille, he's rich. The one that writes the check for Shaquille, he's wealthy. That's where you want to be.
Truth be told, Roger. Truth be told.
Thank you. See you soon as well, real man. He said real estate crash is coming soon. I'm not really worried about it. I don't think the real estate's the concern. The only concern I'm out there, I'll tell you from the financial perspective, is there's like millions of people. I got the actual millionaires that are like over 3 months that were behind their car payments. So there's like a real estate, there's a car bubble out there, but there's also the worst thing is really the student loan bubble out there, because that is the amount that people are getting squeezed on, and there's no way to really how do you get rid of it unless they get forgiven, because Clinton signed into thing where you couldn't have them as part of your bankruptcy or whatever. So it's kind of like that's the one that has people scared. That's the bigger number. That's like over $1 trillion that are tied up with student loans that people are worried about.
Damn.
All right, and for the real estate, as someone that used to work in the real estate industry for a long time, which I'm out for. I've been out of it for a while. I'm really happy. There's ebbs and flows, and people got to understand. At certain points, it's a seller's market. Soon, it's going to be a buyer's market. Right now, you have too many people who are. It's been a seller's market for close to 12 years. These motherfuckers. No insulting. Good for you. You own your place. It's awesome. It's great to have your property. It's time for a buyer's market. You need new homeowners in order for this to continue. So for the real estate market to crash a little bit is not a bad thing, because all it's going to do is going to cause an influx of buyers, which is a good thing. There's a lot of fucking new construction homes that need to be sold, and that they're way too expensive. People making $80,000 a year can't afford to buy a $700,000 house. It doesn't, you can't do that. And these are not people with bad salaries. We're talking people making 90 to 100,000. Even if you're making 100,000, do you really want to buy a house for $750K to live in a halfway decent neighborhood? It's ridiculous, the pricing right now. So to me, a small crash in the real estate market is not going to do anything other than provide new buyers, which in a couple of years, it's going to go right back up again, and it'll become a seller's market again. So you got to look at that way. So to me, real estate.
Well, we've in the States, we've had too much house. I mean, even like back after 2008 and everything, one of the things that Buffett came out with was saying there was just too many houses on the market. There was too many out there. That was causing the issue as well. Yeah. And you got people that aren't in houses that they're not going to it's like people are more sensible buying now. Yeah. They're not trying to buy those big houses. So you got people that could actually probably afford more, but they're not going to risk it. Yeah. And those that can't afford to get in aren't able to get in because there's nowhere for them to go right now.
Yeah.
And I got friends that pay more in real estate. They're renting for their rental payment than I pay for my mortgage. Almost some people almost twice. And I got a 4-bedroom, 1,800 plus house.
Yeah, my parents, like I said, when they bought our house, it was a 3-floor house, 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom, like a big fucking house. They paid $5,000 for that thing, and back in 1978. And then when they kicked the bucket, they left it to us. When we resold, we sold it for like, I don't want to go too much in detail, but it was an over $350K that we ended up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So and that is considered to me a lot of money for a freaking house. And when you look at today, for a house to live in my city in Montreal, the average price on a 2-bedroom house in my city now is $500K. And you're not talking about like a single floor 2-bedroom house is $500K. That's $500,000 for 1,000 square feet. That's fucking expensive, man. And
I mean, and the houses can't be counted as really as being that big investment that it used to be. Like a lot of people say, well, buy a house, it'll appreciate over time. That's not always the case. A lot of people are buying houses that won't appreciate because they're overvalued on the market. Yeah. So, and in the San Francisco, $125,000 now is considered low income. Which in around the country is a lot of other spots you'd be living nicely, but depending on where you're at. In real estate, location, right? So
that's what I was saying. People, when you hear someone that's making a combined couple, like the husband's making 80, the wife's making 80, and they've got over 160,000, and they can't afford to buy a house, that is fucking weird. Like when you get to a point where people that should be considered upper middle class are living in an apartment and are maybe able to go on vacation once a year. It's like, that's the big number, it's a weird world we're living in right now. So
I mean, they had this stuff that came out and they forecasted like the millennials would be the first generation to actually do worse than their parents coming out.
Gen X, we actually did. They said that we did.
Ooh, yeah. Well, way to go, me. Right. I just the whole look at my assets and stuff, and I'm not doing so bad, but like you gotta buy when it becomes a buyer's market, I gotta get in that ASAP. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. As soon as that happens, I gotta no sooner.
Well, where you're in Mass, so I know you got some high prices for stuff up there too. Yeah, you're in an inflated market.
Quite as bad as San Francisco, but it's pretty damn close.
What I don't understand though, when it comes to the housing market, this is what I've never understood, and I still don't understand why it's like that. When it does become a buyer's market, why do banks pucker up their assholes so tight in giving loans? It's like they don't want it to be a buyer's market or some shit like that, when they should be trying to hand out as many loans as possible to revitalize the housing market, to cause it to buy more.
But they're probably because they're looking at lower values, so they're getting lower commissions coming in, lower fees, and when it's a seller's market, you're looking at higher dollars. I mean, just the stuff that happened right now off the small business loans, they said banks spent over $5 billion just in fees during this period of time. Because guess who had to process these loans? The banks did.
Yeah.
It's like
It's business for them too.
Banks that we helped to bail out years ago, right? So again, they're getting the gravy.
Banks that don't seem to know how to invest their own money and keep themselves afloat need us to help them out all the fucking time, and then they want to give us financial.
Put your bank money in a bank. Oh no.
Well, it's funny. One of the things is, and I brought this up to people before talking to them. It's like being a financial, working for a large insurance company, for us to actually take in premium, we have to have a certain number of assets. 4 or 5 times what we actually take in. All companies should have that type of responsibility, so they wouldn't have to be bailed out. There should be something where you have to put a certain dollars back to protect yourself. All companies should have some protection in play, so you're not relying on the American people that have to come in and bail your ass out. And you bailed out all these companies that come in trouble. Like, didn't we just give you money 10 years ago? Well, yeah, but we put that to the shareholders and the bonuses, and we need more now. Sorry, we're done. You're out.
Jesus. Okay, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean,
wow.
I don't know why it's just like the financial service industry knows how to do this. No one else does it. It's like they tell us like we should know how to manage our money more as individuals in society. You should have your savings account. You should have all this stuff in case of an emergency. Okay,
like you do that.
Why doesn't the business have something in case of an emergency? You're telling them people they need to have it. Everybody should have it.
Cool. Eric Robert just sent me a friend's request on Facebook. I feel
nice.
Check me.
Hey, Roger, I'm going to bow out.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for jumping in, brother. It's good having you.
Me. Good to talk with you, Swami, man.
Nice to see you too, Thrash Metal. Now that we're not screaming the shit out of each other,
I know.
It's a fun. My tablet.
You guys screaming before?
Sorry.
Wait a minute. Everybody screams with Swami at some point.
No,
Swami looks to roughen up the road sometimes. He's like, shut up.
Yeah, me and him had a nice pissing contest a couple months back. It was good.
Yeah, we're good. I'm open-minded to a lot of things.
Nobody was hurt. No animals were killed. So yeah.
That's right.
They were not harmed in the making of Swami's YouTube channel.
You're my favorite trumper, Thrash. I love you.
Thank you, brother.
No problem.
All right, don't inject that fucking Lysol. Come on.
All right.
Don't
drink that Kool-Aid either.
Yeah.
No, don't inject
All right,
Lysol.
brother. Well, thanks for jumping in. I'm going to be doing a stream tomorrow at 2.
Cool.
I'm going to do like an early stream in case some of the UK guys want to jump in. So if you're around,
you bet, man.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm going to stick around. I'm going to stick
around
brother. For 15 minutes. Help you get your hours there, Rod.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. I'm going to try to get through some of the other comments here. Let me see here. Where did I leave off at? Thrash did actually sub to Real Man, so that's awesome. Been saying it for 2 years. It will never be worse than ever. Stocks are too high. Real estate prices are way overvalued, and too many are overhead month to month. There's actually a lot of fundamentals in the market that are still very strong. We were due for a correction, though. It's just the coronavirus kind of made it happen quicker. It expedited the process, but we were definitely due for something to happen.
They were saying that the housing market was about to crash soon. The bubble getting ready to burst, but the coronavirus kind of moved it along a little quicker, which is good, especially if you're hoping somebody's no longer in the White House next year and the economy crashes, because that's the only thing keeping them in there. So,
well, no president has ever won like with a down economy in that year for voting, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't count anything as being ever the same anymore with stuff that happens nowadays. You make money, but now on low stocks, there's some out there. All right, see you guys. Have a good night. Hey, you too, Real Man. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. It's great having you on, and definitely come back. I bet the few drive-in theaters left are making a killing. Now, it's funny you say that because I did see a story on one drive-in theater, and they were doing well because now, again, we talk about the shifting. Now you have the industry shifting where you can do a drive-in theater. You have the social distancing, and those that are already in place can easily have the stuff already set up. So you may see a switch back to that like it used to be, which when I was a kid, drive-in theaters were fun to go to and hang out. I mean, I don't know how I feel about going to it now. Like I'm like Swami, I can just sit at home and watch and everything. But for a family experience, you can go there, watch the movie. Possibly the kids can go over to the playground if they have the playground type stuff still. They got the little food stuff there. So who knows,
I'm the most introverted extrovert in the world. So.
Sybil. Jason Patton, post your link here. There are too many Jason Pattons out there. So Thrash was having trouble finding yours there, Jason.
Too many.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting going forward just to see how it all pans out. And like I said, you look over history, there's always shifts. There's always shifts that happen, that took place, Like when they came out with the VHS, people were like, oh, nobody would ever want to watch movies in their own home when they can go to the movie theater. And so we ended up not setting it up here. Japan said, we'll take a opportunity with it. We're coming out of the World War II. We got kind of decimated and all that kind of stuff. And then you had the Sony and all them launch out of Japan. And then all of a sudden they come back over America and they're selling our stuff, which we could have had first. So there's always things that shift stuff.
And all the restaurants that close, everyone's like, oh, these restaurants close. They're all going to be replaced within 6 months of new restaurants. So it's not like,
Yeah, and I wasn't saying that restaurants would get killed anyway, too, by the way. I was just saying it'll be a shift in mentality, I think, is what will have to happen.
How we go to restaurants and how we do that.
And how they have to deal with people coming in, right? Because they're on the front line. How are they going to protect their workers if this is going to be an ever reoccurring type thing?
What the restaurant industry needs, and I speak from experience being in this industry, is that unionization. End of story.
I agree.
It needs to happen. Enough with the $2.10 an hour in the United States. I still don't understand how these motherfuckers survive off that shit. Like enough. They need protection. And same with people working in grocery stores. They should unionize. I think it'll be a nice revolution of unions coming up after the end of this shit. With all the furloughs and all the deferments and all the fucking, well, we can't pay you, but it's time for the workers to start having rights again.
Unions. So no, Eric.
Thank you, Roger. No, indeed. Wait a minute, Karl Marx. There we go.
Yeah, unions.
It's not Karl Marx.
Unions had their, they set up
Richard
a lot of good stuff that protected workers. I mean, the whole thing, getting rid of the child labor, and then bad unions kind of ruined it for people. Forget that. It was funny, like how people say, I see people that I know, like, oh, I'm not a big fan of unions or whatever. And they're like, oh, I can't wait till Labor Day. And it's like, well, that's really a union. I mean, that's because unions actually stepped in and did stuff.
People who love their weekends always forget that the reason why you have a weekend is because of unions.
Right. It's like the way it was before. It's funny because, some of the designations you get and what I do, it's like one of them is like a certified retirement counselor. So you study a lot of different things about helping people prepare for retirement. And people don't realize, like, it wasn't really until after World War II that we even had a middle class and even thought about retiring. Before that, you worked until you could work no more, and then hoped you basically had enough to survive.
And more good news, even just for all the patriots out there watching, all you guys who call yourself patriots and flag wavers. One good thing that should happen after this COVID, which I am 100% for, is more nationalism. And when I mean nationalism, I don't mean the white nationalism. I mean industry. You shouldn't like it. You work for Lids, and Lids makes their shit in India and Pakistan. I'm saying we start.
You say you should make more stuff in the U.S.
Make more stuff in Canada.
Yeah, it's such a novel idea if you can do it. I mean that's not a no. If you can do it, you can do it. If you're dependent on tens of thousands up to hundreds of thousands, even sometimes plus millions of dollars in orders, unless the whole dichotomy of, and that was a thing that I heard a month and a half ago, which is the dichotomy of supply chain and how that may work in this new day and age, which could be China and Asia in the Asian continent. They're not going to be able to survive the way that they're doing things. So if the United States, which they probably can't, I'm not trying to take a dump on the United States or Canada, but if those countries can't take up the manufacturing like they used to, say, like in the 1800s, it's going to have to be, if not China, a lot of people, even Forbes magazine's talking about Mexico. Maybe that's the next hub in the worldwide supply chain hub.
or we suck it up, Buttercup, and buy our fucking shit at a higher rate and fucking make our own.
Well, that's the thing.
The higher rate, all that's going to do. Hopefully, what that does is it doesn't drive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter to the business where we source the material from, or how we manufacture the material. I mean, it does. That does matter. It doesn't matter to us where we source and who manufactures it. What does really matter at the end of the day is, are there going to be enough businesses and storefronts that want to buy that material at whatever the cost that we have to give them the cost to? Yes. If they don't want to buy it, then if new companies are coming up and this is what we need to do is start selling more product that's made in our individual countries. If people don't want to buy those things, it's just not going to work that way. If they're still afraid of buying at whatever the cost it has to be, to them, we're not going to be able to thrive as a company.
There's a comment right now in the chat that states it very easily.
Yeah, I was getting down to it as well.
People are very, very willing to change and evolve very quickly. As you can see, it says, with a single word, most of the people in this country were willing to give up their rights within minutes. And it's true. So it might be a change. People will have to realize, I can't buy my VCR doesn't exist anymore. I can't buy my fucking flat screen TV at 800 anymore. I gotta have to pay 1,200 for my TV now. Oh well.
I can't agree with that 100%. But I agree with what you're saying right there about the widescreen TV. I get you on that.
People have to stop saying this. If we can build it here, like we can always build it here.
Yeah.
We just have to pay the price to be able to do it.
Yeah. Rod, we used to build it here. Zenith, RCA.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. So that goes to what I'm saying. So we can always build it here.
Yeah.
Is that the corporations whose first goal is to put money in the pockets of the shareholders? Yeah. They're doing it over there because they can do it at a lower amount. So if you want to actually have it where you're going to survive as a country and get back to where we were a producer and not an outsourcer or receiving from other countries, you have to put in the money and produce here. So it's going to cost us $600 to build something rather than $300 over there. It might be twice as much, but that's a sacrifice that people have to decide they want to make.
Yeah,
the people in society have to make that. Is 100% the truth on that. And the businesses that buy from these companies that produce their goods, they have to make that decision too. Until the actual businesses and people that place orders, say with the company that I work at, until they make that decision, we're not going to be able to do business the way that we used to. But I don't know. Maybe maybe in the sports industry. I could be wrong. Roger Goodell has come across in the last 3 days like he's a really stand-up individual. He knows what to do. He knows what to say. He's talking to all the fans behind him on that big screen of his in his home in New York. He knows what the fans want.
He's not liked by a lot of people.
Maybe all these sports need to get together and work with each other and make it right with everybody that they do business with. But until that happens, I don't think we're going to see a change at all.
I mean, I don't think he's liked by a lot of people from stuff I've read. But
no, I was being sarcastic about that. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. The thing is, so it gets down to
Patriots fans, Roger Goodell, one of those.
It gets down to what people are willing to actually, sacrifice to do that. Now, the thing is, we're also in a society where Walmart has crippled a lot of companies. People will go to Walmart because
small businesses out of their areas.
Right. So people will go to Walmart because they're cheaper. They don't care where it comes from. It's what they can afford. That's why you have like Walmart. So in a way, I don't think the majority of people really care that much if they can get the cheaper price. They're like, go ahead and make it overseas.
Yeah, but
that's what people are willing to give up.
Yeah, but if the government,
for instance, I don't go to Walmart because I have a problem with Walmart's policies on stuff. So I'm paying a little bit more of some stuff I probably get at some spots. Yep. But I'm okay to do that. Not everybody can make the decision. Some people don't have that ability to do it because they're limited on what they can actually spend.
Yeah, luxury.
That's also because the industry being put overseas has stagnated salaries, meaning salaries don't go up anymore. So people have not been able to afford anything because the cheaper goods come in because whatever. China pays less. So America hasn't brought up their minimum wage in fucking a decade for most of the states. Some of the states, yes, California has brought it up to $15 an hour.
Okay.
I think Oregon did it too, and a few other states, and all the businesses are doing fine. People have more money in their pocket, but then you'll always have the argument from the other states saying, "Oh, if I do that, I'm gonna lose my business." But it's kind of weird. California did it; they're not losing their fucking businesses.
That was like the whole tip. That's like the whole tipping argument, right? So some people said, if you pay employees what they should get, then you don't have to worry about the tipping thing. And they were like, well, then people won't do it. We'll be in trouble.
I'm going to be off.
And then they found out when they had these restaurants where they increased the workers' salaries, so they have to worry about getting a tip. People still kept coming, and you're okay to pay that difference.
Yeah. I've always said I had someone that works in the industry. I'd rather get paid a $30 an hour wage than get tips. I don't want to have to kiss. Not saying I'd be mean to the customer. I'm not going to tell you to fuck off when you come in.
Right. You're still professional in what you do. Right.
I'm still professional, but I don't have to be your slave anymore, which is the fun. I don't have to deal with the Karens of the world. I don't have to go into a fucking restaurant, have some lady badmouth me, and I still got to kiss her fucking ass for 20 minutes. Because, if I don't, she'll bump me down to a 5% tip or something like that,
Yeah.
The only problem I have with a lot of that is it's what happens is at least in my mind is that we get to that's not the right term is that this whole you got whatever they call lower middle class, whatever they call the poor, the middle class or the lower class,
like the lower middle class you're trying to get.
I guess what I'm trying to say, my mind's ajar right now, but it's changing around what's being considered what class, and I just feel like even when that happens, it's still gonna be the price of goods, and maybe even it's just gonna change what's considered a middle class and what's considered the upper class. That's going to go.
I'll be back.
Here, it's going to go this or that. It's going to be the same. Yeah, regardless. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're thinking the parameters are changing. You're thinking the parameters of what is going to change over.
Yeah, I'm how much if we decide that if we decide as Western culture in Canada and the United States, we decide what's considered a good livable wage, what we consider that's up to interpretation still. But I still feel like the cost of goods and real estate is going to move with that, and it's still going to be it's still going to be a similar amount of cost regardless. I still feel that way. I could be wrong about that. I hope I am though.
Yeah, I mean, that you said a thing there, like it's all like on what each individual may think it may be, right? It's all, it's not like it's set there. And it's like the thing with Mnuchin, where we just did this whole stimulus. They're sending out these $1,200 checks. And then he gets on TV and he says, well, this should be enough for someone to live 10 weeks. And I'm like, where do you live where you can have 1,200 stretched 10 weeks possibly if you got rent, if you got a car payment, if you got this other stuff to take care of, if you got kids. What are you talking about? Another 500 over that week? Have you seen what kids can actually eat and do to your budget? So the whole thing with him saying that is kind of like you're so out of touch right now. Or if you're not out of touch, you're just trying to run a con game on us. It's got to be one or the other.
Yeah, I've never heard that. That's a weird statement. Wow.
Me and my wife, we're two people, no children. We're kind of like you, Rod. I think you have no kids either, right?
Right, no kids, right.
Our groceries every 2 weeks is $175. We're two fucking people.
Yeah.
Right? Every week.
Yeah.
$175. Family of 4. You got to double that fucking factor. That's fucking $350 every week. How the fuck is 1,200 gonna do that shit for 10 weeks? What the fuck is that?
I guess everybody was eating SpaghettiOs or something.
Peanut butter out of the
ramen noodles.
Right. Yeah, and it's like you see that kind of stuff, and it's like, how is your math being done again? Like, because this is not going to work. And I don't know. You see stuff like that, it becomes infuriating because you're basically just trying to pull the wool over the people's eyes that are here. It's kind of like knowing anybody can be that mad. I don't care if you're doing regular or Common Core, it doesn't add up. So
Common Core, right? Yeah, I got you on that. Yeah. Damn. I've heard that thing about Common. Yeah.
Tuna says life is simple and cyclical.
Algebra, Common Core.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. We're in a whole different type of thing here. It's kind of weird. It's funny. I made a joke on Facebook earlier. I was watching Demolition Man the other day, and I realized like it was actually set for 2032, but they were kind of social distancing in Demolition Man because they didn't have physical contact, but they were still close to each other, kind of, but they didn't touch each other. So it was kind of funny, just like they're
doing the Macarena.
Yeah.
They put
COVID-19. No,
the rings. It was the pleasure rings in Demolition.
Yeah, the pleasure rings for the sex or whatever. And he's like, "What are we doing?" Yeah, but I don't know. You always hope for the best. It's kind of like we'll see what happens. They did say some of the numbers were rising in some of the spots. I guess they were trying to reopen, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll find out. Sweden right now is kind of like a spotlight on them to see what's happening because they're going with the whole herd immunity thing.
Yeah,
and Japan as well, because Japan never did a lockdown, and some scientists said they can project that they may have 400,000 deaths possibly. So those two countries are having the spotlight on them right now.
Well, Sweden only has a population of 7 million.
Yeah,
and they've got 16,000 deaths so far, and I think it's like sorry, I'm wrong. They have 8,000 deaths.
16,000. So they have like a higher rate there, though.
I don't remember. I think it's
like their rate versus other countries. I think it's a little bit higher because they were kind of putting everybody out there together or something.
Listen,
Tuna says subjugation leads to awakening, awakening leads to revolt, revolt leads to liberty, liberty leads to overabundance, overabundance leads to complacency, and complacency leads right back to subjugation.
Does it always?
It's a vicious circle.
Circle of life, and it moves us all.
Is there any nut better than a pistachio nut?
Over the years, pistachio has become one of my favorites. I didn't start eating it until about 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, these are actually pretty good. I was a cashew fan more before then. Cashews are pretty good.
Roasted cashews are the shit.
Cashews are a fucked up industry. If you ever, they come from India. I watched a documentary on that shit. The way they pick that shit, they're so acidic or something like that they burn the skin off their hands. Like,
the cashews. Is that right? The cashews their shells are actually very toxic to humans.
Yeah. And you see all the women that pick them, they have like these black fucking hands, like as black as this fucking stout.
Wow.
And they're all like burnt up and I never knew that. I watched that shit. I was like, oh fuck. And they're like, they don't give them gloves to pick them, stuff like that. Talk about workers' rights and shit.
I said, are we thinking you're not getting hazard pay either?
No.
They're picking legumes. Nope.
Anyways, they're still fucking delicious. These guys. And
no, but the pistachio I've actually started to really like.
We got commercials for pistachios in the United States all the time. I notice. They're a wonder nut, apparently. A wonder nut.
I think there's a nut better than any other nut, but this is a G-rated show. I see what you're doing there, brother. I see what you're doing.
G-rated. What? How the fuck is this a family show?
Compared to other shows on YouTube, I wouldn't say we're G-rated, but we're definitely not over the edge.
Yeah.
The J,
like some people run live streams. And then they take them like they're done and like, oh, I got to make that private or I got to list that. Like,
I just delete them.
I don't never do that.
The J in Rod J stands for juvenile.
They're only rated R when I'm here.
No, the channel is set up for no kids, so there should be no kids watching.
Yeah.
If you're a kid watching, go to bed.
Goodbye. No.
If you're a kid,
hit that thumbs up before you go to bed.
I mean, wow, I'm a big kid.
if you're a kid watching, at least go grab some of your father's liquor, pour a glass, and have one with it, right?
Yeah.
One time only, kids. One time.
Gonna make a Rod J BeerVentures bib so people can put it on their babies. Got to start them young.
I remember I was 11 years old when I had my first beer. My first
11.
Yeah, I stole it out of my stepfather's fridge.
The first beer was Molson Dry.
Mine was a Labatt. A Labatt. It was like a lemon Labatt. There was like a citrus Labatt back in the day, and it was like I thought it was lemonade, and I drank and I was like, oh, this ain't no lemonade, but this lemonade's gone bad.
Let me chop that down.
Yeah, my first one was Miller High Life. I was like,
probably from me
probably
too, yeah.
7 or 8 or something. Nah, maybe like 9. It was kind of like I was at my grandparents' house. Remember, they used to have the little 8-ounce bottles.
Oh Jesus!
And they would like say, go grab me a beer out of the fridge like that, and everything, and open it up for them, and I would take sips out of them. So I think I was like around 8 or 9 years old, and I go get them.
Here's your 8-ounce beer, Peppy.
Yeah. My grandfather didn't mind as much as my grandmother did if I took a sip out of them. Like, you shouldn't be drinking these. Grandfather would kind of wink over, like, I see what you're doing. But yeah, but back then, if they wanted you to take a nap, they give you a sip so you just pass out as a kid.
I think I'm from the last generation that I was allowed. My mom would give me cash to go to the store to get my dad's cigarettes and her beer and wine.
Yeah,
and I was like 8 years old, and I was able to do that. And I'm like, I don't know if Thomas Meadows had the pleasure of that. That was fun.
I don't know. Say we couldn't do beer and wine in New Jersey, but we could do cigarettes. I could never go in and get beer and wine, but I can go in and get cigarettes.
Oh damn! Yeah, Massachusetts. No, we're too. I'll say we're too liberal for that shit. No. We can't pull a Dazed and Confused where it's like, oh yeah, well, if the age were 18, oh yeah, I'm 18, yeah, all right.
Yes, Massachusetts is liberal.
Bro. No, it doesn't happen like that. No. Yep. I'm 18. Yep.
My mom would just write a note and she'd give it to me and she'd say, give that to the clerk, and then I'd ride home on a big wheel with a 6-pack of beer and smoke.
That's a good corner store back in the day.
They call that kind of person Tonka tough.
Like at a Kroger or a big chain store. You were like doing that like the corner store.
Yeah.
They knew who you were. Yeah.
He was Tonka tough.
Right.
Oh my God. Wow. Damn.
I used to love Big Wheel back being a little kid though.
I did have one. Yeah.
Remember you'd ride through a puddle rod and try to see how long you can go.
Yeah.
The wheels causing the water stain on the cement and be like,
but when I was a kid, we had I guess it was pre-K schools. It was like before you went to kindergarten, you were like 4 years old or whatever, and they used to have like Big Wheels, and there was 2 that were like kind of like a turbo edition type Big Wheel. Me and my buddy used to always get it because we were like the fastest to get to them all the time. And at recess, we'd just be whipping around. And then one night they had a parents' night at the school. When they come in, they talk about the school, and all the parents are like kind of in the auditorium type part or whatever. And we're just riding around. And my mom was actually part of the PTA type stuff, and she was like in there. And I like came in one of the rooms. I was like, you pulled the brake, and you like, hit that little slide, and everybody look over. My mom was pissed that night. I'm like, wrong room.
So your mom was like the cool mom. My mom was the mom that beat other people's children. Mom, and it was
like my mom. She would be. I don't think she ever beat any other kids' children, but my friends always loved to come to my house because my mom would like always cook like a bunch of food, and they always come over to eat, and they loved when she cooked stuff. So yeah.
All the kids in my neighborhood were afraid of my mom. She was the crazy. She cooked really well. She was Italian, but she hit all of my friends at least once, and it was like some kids I didn't even know she'd hit. And I was like, Mom,
my mom hated some of my friends back then too. Like, why are you gonna hang out with so and so? You don't stay away from him, But now some of my other friends, their moms would be the ones that whip the other kids in there. Like if I got in trouble, like at my buddy Keith's house, then Keith's mom had permission to give us a beating for it. So.
My mom used to tell my teacher. If he gets out of line, smack him.
Yeah.
I remember the teacher just looking at her like, I'm not allowed to hit your child. Like, I remember hearing that, like, I can't do that. And my mom, no, seriously, if he like steps out and whap him once, he'll be
Tuna said, "Don't tell me this isn't G-rated and it's on Rod knows, LOL." It says, "My first drink was Purple Passion. I was projecting vomiting before it was cool." That might have been my first drink. I don't know if that's the first drink I ever paid for, because I did pick up Mad Dog when we did that stuff, but I also drank we would get like the Colt 45s on it because we didn't know what it was. It was like a big bottle or something, so we would get that because it was always cheap. You're in high school, it was cheap, right? You get like this big 40-ounce bottle for like $1.50 or whatever. Funny how prices haven't really changed too much on malt liquor, by the way.
Yeah, right.
But
Right.
then you would stumble into like the Mad Dogs.
Not Old English. Still Reserve 211, that 8% one we get in my area. Holy moly! But the first 6-pack, I grew up in the era of some of the craft beer and stuff, was the Boston Lager, but the first one like that was definitely the Steel Reserve. That I remember. I don't know if I knew what it meant, but I remember thinking this tastes like bromated butter. Yum.
Yeah.
Us, it was St. Ives was our drink of choice when we were doing
St. Ives was another one out there. Yeah.
It was a $1.05 for a 40. You buy like 3 of them, sit in front of the convenience store, put them down, get fucked up.
The Ice Cube used to market that for a while until he challenged him about not putting money in the communities. But at Colt 45, Schlitz, Red Bull, and Blue Bull. We used to drink those back in the day. But then you got to high school, you got to college, started getting to messing with, you had Mad Dog, you had Boone's Farm, you had. Back then, it was like the cooler stage, which you never had to go through that run, Eric, when they had the wine coolers. But back in the day, they had the wine cooler action.
We obviously have them, but I've never been through that phase.
I don't think they have Bartles and James anymore.
No, they have no, wait a minute. There's stuff like the Seagrams. What do they call them? What's the Seagrams?
Like
breezers or something?
Yeah.
Breezers? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
I think it's something like we had like Bartles and James and these two old guys on a wine cooler. Like, why are you guys on a wine cooler?
We're in the. I think Swan. I'm not trying to suggest your age there, but I feel like we're in the age bracket where more about in wine coolers the alternative type.
I'm only 3 years younger than Rod. I'm an old motherfucker.
I'm going to be 32 next month.
Yeah, I'm 10 years older than you.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. I feel like it's more that alternative Mike Card or what's the one? What's the other brand there? The Smirnoff craze thing. There's a Seagram's line of different. I never was in that. Some people are. I feel like the seltzer water craze kind of took over a little bit.
No, I was Bartles and James like Rod when I was a kid. And my mom used to buy them for us because she thought they were soda. She'd be like, maybe 2 times.
All right.
And like me and my sister would get like wasted off of fucking Bartles and James, not realizing like, this is alcohol. Fuck.
Have something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Tuda says
the Mike Hard Limeade, that one's pretty good. The Mike Hard Lemonade were just like so acidically sweet. That would just give you heartburn instantly.
I remember you want to get laid when you were 16, you'd buy a girl a tornado and she'd trip balls. But
tripping balls on a tornado? That sounds like something you do in Oklahoma. What
It was like a 40-ouncer, but it was not beer. It was like malt liquor, but fruity malt liquor. It was called a tornado.
Oh, 40. Damn. Yeah.
That's like pre-4 Loco.
Yeah.
Tuna said, if I had the big one with the break on it, you got the girl. I don't know if it was the boys or girls. I remember which one it was. I didn't think there was a boy and girls edition. I don't remember seeing it. It wasn't like pink or anything. That it had like racing stripes and stuff on it. But he says, why circumcision became popular? Because women won't touch anything that isn't at least 15% off. And I was not a Zima guy. I hated Zima. I don't even know why they brought Zima back again. And everybody's like, well, you must have had it with Jolly Rancher. I'm like, if you got to put a Jolly Rancher in your drink, why the fuck are you drinking it in the first place?
Just get Sprite and put vodka in it. There's your Zima, people.
My favorite soda's back, clearly Canadian. I saw that on the shelves again. I haven't seen that shit since 1996. It's always
I think Miller Brewing Company was doing the re-release of it.
yeah.
Way to go, Miller.
Miller Lite did the release of soda. They do sodas at Miller. I didn't know that.
They did the re-release of Zima.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Oh, they did the Zima when the Zima came back. Okay, yeah.
No, not. I don't know who did it originally. They could have been distributing that originally.
The Zima was back like last year, I think, when I saw that Kroger or something.
Maybe. Damn.
It's like, why would you bring it back? There were people that wanted to taste it though, but I've
always been curious about that Four Loko Gold, but I don't know. That just seems. I mean, alcohol is not really great for the body, quote unquote. But like Four Loko Gold, that can't be really great for the body. Come on.
No, you should never be curious about any Four Loko.
How little can you spend for 14%? Like, that's what intrigues me. But do I really, really want to buy that? No.
Four Loko is illegal in Canada. It was sold here for a while, but then last year, some girl died drinking that shit, and they banned it.
Yeah, it got pulled because of the alcohol here in the United States initially, but then they got rid of the alcohol content in it, or about the alcohol.
Not us. No, that was by states because we still get to 14 in Kentucky.
Is that with caffeine? I think they got rid of it with caffeine.
The caffeine version? I don't know. I don't drink it enough. I know we still have it here, but
me either. But I feel like that's what it was. You get the high from the caffeine, and then you get the low from 14% alcohol. Wow.
It was the Sparks was one that had a lot of caffeine in it too, and we still get that in Kentucky. You can't buy that in Ohio. They banned it in Ohio, but Kentucky you still get it.
Yeah, we have
the strange thing of that is that then you get the hard coffees too. That's got caffeine, obviously. That's not illegal.
Yeah, we have some weird laws in Canada when it comes to fucking soft drinks and caffeine. Only brown liquids like root beer and Coke and Pepsi and like Dr. Pepper are allowed to have caffeine in it. Anything that's like clear or Mountain Dew or shit like that can't have caffeine in it. So it's like a weird thing. Like I don't understand why clear liquids can't have caffeine, but brown liquids can. But whatever.
I think it's kind of funny. The time I went to Canada, we went to Toronto for a week for vacation, and we would eat out, of course, because we were up there for vacation. And I would like ask for refills at some of the restaurants, and some of the people were like surprised. I think I was asking for a refill. I don't know if refills aren't that popular in Canada, but I'm like, I want to separate. I was like, well, charge me separate. I don't care. I want a refill, but it seemed like they didn't want to give a refill to me. They're like, no, you had your one for the day.
We're just around some corny ass white people. That's why.
Well, whatever restaurant it was.
I don't remember that. I went to Montreal a couple of years ago. I don't remember that I don't remember that in your neck of the woods in Montreal. I went there in 2015. I thought that was I actually thought that was a really cool place for some good craft beer. Really good time for some beer.
Amazing place for craft beer. Montreal, especially if you're from a shitty place like Boston, you're going to be in love with Montreal.
Yeah. All right. What did I went to that. Dudacell was fucking awesome. Yeah.
I like Boston. I go to Boston all the time, but it's a fun place.
Judas, don't get caught up in the stereotypes. And there used to be a lot of white people that used to drink Colt 45 too back in the day. So
I found one in Providence, Rhode Island a couple of years ago. I was like, damn, it was $1.25 for a little 12-ounce can. I was like, damn.
Cheers, my friend. You can still come in if you're freed up now.
Yeah, Montreal was cool. You have to know I found out in Montreal, either A, you have to know enough French, or B, you need to know where you're going if you're going to use their transit system.
Yeah, well, Montreal is the safest big city in North America. So it's the party town. Like everyone calls Montreal mini New York, but with French people. So it's a very much a party town. It's a good place to be.
Was it more mini New York than? Because I thought Toronto was like kind of like a New York from Canada.
Toronto to look like New York, but doesn't have the New York attitude. Where Montreal has a New York attitude, but doesn't look like New York.
Gotcha.
If
there's nothing to do in
Montreal, I've never was kind of cool because Holy crap. Montreal was cool because it was amazing to me how many people actually were bilingual and knew both the French and English language, but I felt like there was also enough people that probably got the sense I'm not from this area.
Well,
so they can try to speak as much French as they want, but then again, I'm going to just speak my English, and they went, oh, okay, fine, you win. I'm like, thank you.
Montrealers are funny because they're, how do I say this? They're xenophobic by nature. Quebecers are xenophobic. They don't like outsiders in their country. You know,
I believe that with Quebec.
Quebec, yeah, Quebec is very xenophobic. Not racist, xenophobic, meaning nobody. White people, black people, yellow people. They don't want any outsiders coming in. It's pretty much how it is.
Really?
Yeah, it's the way it is. They don't even like.
I believe that.
I'm first generation Quebecer. So my parents were immigrants. So my mom was Italian, my dad was Russian. Anyways, when a Montrealer comes up to me, even though I speak fluent, and when I say fluent, indistinguishable bilingual French, and I actually speak probably better French than most of the Quebecers I know. Okay, they will automatically talk to me in English, not because they don't think I speak French. It's kind of like an insult. It's like, well, you're not one of us, so we're going to talk to you.
Damn. Wow.
So it's not a nice thing.
Like,
because I'll start talking to them eventually. Bonjour, ça va bien? Comment ça se passe? And they're gonna automatically go straight to English if they don't know me or not my friend or shit like that.
Just by your accent, or what do you think it is?
My face, because my face looks like I look like an immigrant. People like tell me like
wow.
No, it's just the way it is. So I laugh it up.
Damn, Swami, you getting profiled in Montreal, son.
I get profiled.
There's some good cigar bars I went to, Roger. Some of them really good. I got to try the Cubans. They're not that much better than everything else we get, but it was cool. It was all right.
It's weird. I like the, again, I think it's got it's one of the reasons why we're not Toronto. We're different, you know. So
you definitely different. Yeah.
You gotta live with the bad to get the good. And I think the city is the only city in the world I'd live in. I've lived in New York for 5 years. I liked it. It was dirty as fuck. I would never live in New York.
I believe it.
I lived in Toronto. It sucks. It's fucking boring. It's like just the most boring place on earth. I lived in Edmonton, which was just like disgusting. But I like Montreal. But Rod likes Kentucky, so what can you say?
Kentucky's it's good value for what you get here. So
I know.
But I'm like where I'm at, people don't really consider it kind of as much of Kentucky, even though it's in Kentucky. They kind of consider it like more northern, like in Cincinnati, because that's where we're part of. Really. Paul says, just tuning in as usual. I'm right next door to Quebec. Took 8 years of French. Can't speak a freaking word. It's really good. Yeah, I took a couple years. Well, it's funny. I took a couple years of French back when I was like in 7th and 8th grade, I think it was. And it was funny because one of the Swami shows, he had a bottle in French. I started reading part of it. He's like, like I know some of it now. I remember, but like I didn't know any French people growing up in New Jersey. There's just not a lot of French immigrants. So I lost it. After that point where I can still read parts of it. I can fragment it. If I hear certain words, I kind of know what the words may be, but I wish I would have kept up on it.
You better learn Italian in New Jersey.
I love going to Thomas Metals. I love going to New Hampshire because they treat Quebecers like gold for some reason because we're right next to them, and half their business in the summertime is tourism from Quebec. Because we all go to Maine. We all hit Maine. We all hit Vermont. We all hit fucking all the beaches in Maine. When you go to Maine,
Maine probably.
It's 80%.
Some of that Maine lobster.
You go to Maine in the summertime, it's 80%.
Lobster, you fucking asshole. No.
You go to Maine in the summertime, it's like 80% Quebec. You're gonna hear more French than English if you go to Maine in the summertime. That's what it is.
God fucking damn it, guy.
And the Bostonians come down.
Sorry, friggin' egg. No.
And the Bostonians come down to Quebec whenever the Montreal Canadiens are playing Boston. So like we always have them in our town. But we're only 2 hours away by drive, so and I'll end up here.
That's a nice rivalry.
I remember going to Montreal. And then there was Boston news stations going on live in Montreal. I was like, damn, I still got the Boston news in Montreal. Holy shit.
The biggest rivalry in the NHL is Boston versus the Canadiens. It's always been the Bruins versus
Yeah. We traded coaches. I don't know if that went well for the coach, but all right.
I don't care. I don't like the Montreal Canadiens. I'm an Ottawa.
Claude Julien.
Hey, Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
That sounded like Sean Connery right there. Ottawa.
Got you in my sight.
Ottawa Senators.
I see your tricks, Trebek.
I'll take anal bum covers for 1,000.
Yeah. I just bring out the Sean Connery from Jeopardy when I'm on Beer Chug Show Wednesday nights.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
The one I like, my favorite line to do is, "Do you expect me? Do you expect me to talk Goldfinger? No, I expect you to die." That's the only one I always do.
Says Trebek, I'll take the rapist for 200.
Yeah.
That's not on the board. It's right there. I'll show you. That's therapist, you ninny.
Oh, your mother's election. I go back.
He's still doing the show. He's stage 4, and he's not missed a single show. Trebek.
What happened?
Trebek is stage 4 cancer, colon cancer.
Yeah.
He's had it for like.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know who was stage 4 before that I was surprised is Michael Douglas. He was stage 4 when he was diagnosed, and he's been able to seem to beat that for a good amount of time.
That's because you know what the cure for cancer is, Rod?
What's that?
Money.
I've heard that.
I mean,
somebody.
I can still remember the day he got HIV back in '91, and never had AIDS pop up or anything. I mean, he was going over getting to the right treatments.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that said to me when I heard about Tom Hanks getting coronavirus, I said I basically said I hope that he's going to recover from that. And my buddy from Rhode Island says, "Oh yeah, he's going to recover from that." And I'm like, how do you know that? And he used it as if it were a proper noun. He says because he has the money. And then as you were saying there, Swami, then he goes into the one. He says, you know how Magic Johnson, which is a stupid statement, how he got cured of the AIDS. Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Because of the money. I'm like, wait, you're using this as a proper noun, the money?
Well,
he
never had it. He never had AIDS, so.
If you kind of think about
what the hell?
If you kind
the money.
But if you kind of think about it, you see Trump every time he's doing those press conferences, he's surrounded by people. They're not distancing at all, and he doesn't look worried. He's a fat, out of shape motherfucker. You know,
he likes
why?
a lot of Big Macs. He likes Big Macs. We know this.
But you know why? It's because they have the cure for him. So he's fine with it. They got the cure. It's just going to cost me $20 million.
Yeah. I think this is the first time I've ever saw, though, when they do the press conferences where I actually prefer the vice president to talk than the president. Like, Mike Pence talks a lot better than Trump does.
Yeah, he does. He certainly does. I'll agree with you on that 100%. Yeah. He's done the politics thing a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
He gets it a little bit. There we go. He gets it a little bit.
I like the poll that came out last week from ABC News when they did a poll of who should be vice president. And it made me laugh so hard. And the American public, by like an overwhelming majority, said Bernie Sanders. And I'm like, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
No, I don't.
It's like, you had your motherfucking chance, you idiots. You wanted to go with Mumbles. You got Mumbles.
You had it twice.
Yeah.
You and Hillary Clinton had it twice.
But then they did the other poll about Elizabeth Warren, and she got like 2% of the population want her to be VP. Like, everyone hates her now. And it's like, good.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a war. I don't think it'll be a war there. Yeah.
Not in my state.
It's all. Everyone knows who it's gonna be. It's gonna be Stacey Abrams or it's gonna be Kamala Harris. It's already in the book.
It's not gonna be Kamala.
It's gonna be Kamala Harris and Stacey Abrams.
No, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be Kamala. It's gonna be Stacey. I said that like months ago. It's gonna be Stacey.
It'll be Stacey Abrams if Stacey Abrams plays the game. This is why I'm telling you it's gonna be Harris, because Kamala Harris will play any game in order to get the fucking job.
More.
And
she's got even like some of the people that are Democrats that are against her.
Don't matter. If she does what Biden says, she's in. That's all that matters. That's the number
even
one.
If he picked her, Biden might not even remember picking her, so we'll have to wait and
see.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Yeah, you're right about that. I agree with you on that. Yeah,
He might forget by the time it matters.
you need somebody that's just as touchy feely as Joe Biden to be president or vice president.
I think the vice president they're going to look at like Stacey because she's got getting a lot of attention in the Democratic thing. Plus, she's younger, and obviously, people are getting tired of seeing these old guys run. They want somebody younger, just in case something were to happen, right? And let's face it, when Joe says stuff up there, we have no idea what he's talking about. Sometimes it's just like I don't know what he's talking about. People back in the 50s again. I don't know what's going on here. He's getting a Dakota ring or something. He said, I don't know.
Let's just get Bill back in the White House. No, Bill Clinton, vice president. All right.
He always says, "Listen, folks. Listen, folks.
Yeah. Come on,
listen, folks.
Smell of your shampoo."
It's like, who uses folks anymore? Who does that?
I like
Joe Biden. That's who. He said, "Listen, folks.
Come on, man." That's my favorite. He's like, "Come on, man."
Joe Biden does this, and Barack Obama is like he's pushing the buttons all the time.
I do like Joe Biden. I do like that Joe Biden's always ready to get into a fist fight. That makes
he is feisty. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I love watching old men are like that. Like my father-in-law, I'll say the wrong word, and he'll get ready to like take me out in the front. He'll be like, "You want to go outside and sell this?" I'm like, "Okay, Dad, you're like 100." No, he's like, "I will do 7,000 push-ups right now on the table." What's wrong with you?
Sometimes you think he's the old guy though, but like, let's wrestle for it, right? Yeah. So let's wrestle for it.
Like that's creepy, Joe Biden. That's creepy.
I would not be surprised, like, because Trump is a cowering little bitch, If they're like on stage, even though Trump is like Mr. Tough Talk, Joe Biden is like, as much as I don't like Joe Biden, I'm not a fan of his. Joe Biden, like, he will punch a motherfucker. And it's
he said about taking Trump behind a tool shed before. Yeah.
Like, and Trump is like
what the
around him. That's why I didn't want to fucking like.
That's crazy.
Bernie wouldn't hit Trump. Bernie would just like be like talk him down and shut him the fuck up. But Biden, because he can't argue. He's just gonna babble. He'll get pissed and just accidentally just punch Trump in the mouth.
we could always just have put Biden and Trump together and settle the presidency in an arm wrestling match. We'll take the winner of the arm wrestling match.
Trump. No.
Trump doesn't have the hands to arm wrestle. He's got this.
Rumor has it, they're small hands, right?
Yeah.
So.
Rumor has it.
I have perfectly normal sized hands. I can't do Trump. It's the only impersonation I can't do. I've tried.
You have perfectly normal sized hands. That's like saying George W. Bush has perfectly normal sized lips. All right.
The only thing I can do that Trump does is the only, like Puerto Rico. That's like the only thing. Like when he says Puerto Rico, it always like Puerto Rico.
Like China.
China.
It's gonna be great when we have China on our side.
No, I'll say I'm not looking forward to the election. That's for sure.
I'm gonna love it. As a Canadian, it's fun for me. I'm gonna watch.
Well, you guys are just along for the ride, so whatever we do, you guys are gonna definitely pay the price at some point. Either it'll be good or not good.
Trudeau.
I didn't vote for Trudeau. I didn't like Trudeau. I'm one of the few people that's not enamored by Trudeau. I don't like him. I never have.
Rob Ford. I
don't like Rob Ford either.
That guy got on a bender with cocaine.
Was it Rob, Mr. Buck a Beer guy?
Rob Ford is the brother of Doug Ford. If you remember Doug Ford.
Yeah, I remember Doug. Doug always reminded me of Chris Farley. I can see him partying a lot. Yeah.
Oh, is that who I'm talking about? Doug Ford. Oh,
Doug Ford was he's the one that died, but Rob Ford was a brother. But Doug was alive. I'm like, that's like Chris Farley in real life, right there. Like,
it's Chris Farley when he ran for when they were playing football and they threw him the ball and he fell on his ass and everyone thought it was
I remember that, yeah.
Holy shnikes!
I live in a van down by the
river. Yeah.
But I would see him, I'm like, I wouldn't mind partying with that guy. I bet he'd have a good time. I would drink a beer with Rob Ford.
Bloody freaking da!
I live in a van down by
the river.
That's like the best line ever.
He had a little bit of Tommy Boy in him.
Good old van down by the river. You can't get a van down by the river though. The real estate market's fucked up right now.
Yeah, you can't go down. Yeah, well, social distancing and stuff being closed off, you can't get down by the river.
It's called a trailer down by the river.
Oh, the waterfront properties are expensive.
Real.
Not by the Hudson River. Oh,
I think this stream's dead. There's nobody.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and actually wrap up here. I think I was looking at it, I was like, about 2.5 hours. We're going to shut it down.
Yeah, we're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Swami, for coming on, and Eric for coming on as well.
Thanks for having me. It's been
I'd like to get out of here and kick it for a little bit. I'm going to do one tomorrow at 2:00 because I'm going to get the UK guys on, hopefully. So see what they're up to.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Frew said, I'm old enough to remember the reign of Pierre Trudeau.
Me too. I was in this province when the military came in back in 1984.
Yeah. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Make sure you check out these guys on their channel. Even though Swami doesn't want any more subscribers, you can find him at Malton in Montreal. And you can find Eric at Thomas Meadow 75.
Massachusetts Beer Reviews. People.
You can find me laying down on my couch watching Ozarks, or you can find me here in front of my Xbox playing video games. It's pretty much what
I didn't actually watch Ozark.
What?
Well, he just disappeared. I need to watch Ozark. I heard it was so good.
It's
you got Call of Duty on
No, I on Xbox the games I'm playing right now is NHL 2020 that I'm hitting hard. I restarted Red Dead Redemption 2 again. And I'm playing Witcher 3 again. I restarted that shit. And I'm playing this one right here, Just Cause 3. Those are the games.
Oh yeah, I've got that too on PlayStation. Yeah,
I'm playing. Those are the games I'm playing right now, and a little bit of what's the other one? UFC Volume 3. Playing that.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say if you ever get Call of Duty, let me know because we can play multi-platform on that one. I don't do
the online gaming. I have to wear pants if I do the online gaming.
We don't got to see you. We just see this our old screen, so you can still sit there in your boxers or whatever.
If I play online,
we won't even know you're free balling.
If I play the online shit, I'm gonna get like a voice thing that changes my voice to a sound of a 15-year-old kid, and I'm just gonna say racist, crazy, weird shit to people online.
How to Catch a Predator episode playing a video game here. Paul said, cheers, guys, and you too, Eric. Eric disappeared already. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. Look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Again, if you're anybody who catches it at this point, be back up tomorrow, and I look forward to sharing some more stuff at that time. Cheers, everybody.
Night, folks.